Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. This is going to be another episode of Reforge Gaming News, a daily live podcast here on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed with that bell button pressed if you don't want to miss the live shows. We're talking God of War Ragnarok update. It's not ready to show, according to Cory Barlog. I want to theorize why. What exactly is going on with this? We've been covering this over on Reforge Updates. That's like our smaller upload channel. And people are very, very hungry for news about this game. And now many are speculating as to why is this game not ready to show? What exactly are y'all doing? And I want to break it down really quickly for you here. Right at the beginning, I try to do this so you can get all the info, and then we discuss it during the live stream. This is a Reforge update. The God of War Ragnarok showcase is still yet to happen, and according to Cory Barlog, it's not ready to show, and we want to know why. We're going to do a little bit of theorizing in this video and comb over what exactly was said and when do we expect to see this game and release. If you like these quick updates here on Reforge Updates, hit subscribe and the bell button, or head over to Reforge Gaming where I stream these discussions live. Game Rant covered this, combing over a tweet to celebrate sort of the anniversary. They said that the original God of War actually came out and released 17 years ago, and that was celebrated on April the 20th of 2022. Many people thought that there was going to be a big release, a big reveal, a big something to celebrate the anniversary, but that's not what we got. Cory Barlog is the video game director, designer, and writer. He's been with Sony Santa Monica since the original God of War and was the lead director for the 2018 game. He was now stepping into and has stepped into a producer role for God of War Ragnarok. And he took to Twitter. You know, everybody was sort of anticipating they're going to say something, they're going to do something, and so he takes to Twitter. And according to this report, he posted Twitter on Santa Monica Studios' account, showing appreciation to the fans who have enthusiastically enjoyed God of War, joining Kratos and Atreus on their journey. He stated, it is your support that allows us to keep doing the things we love to do. The elephant in the room is what he segues to, which is God of War Ragnarok. At the present time, Sony Santa Monica doesn't have anything of significance to share, but Barlog reassures fans that the team is hard at work making something special. So I think they knew people were going to be sort of all eyes on Sony Santa Monica, all eyes on God of War to celebrate the anniversary, and he's like, we actually don't have anything significant to share. And he went on to talk about the state of the game. He shared details surrounding the current state of the game, stating that, quote, we are perfectionists. Everyone's tightening up the graphics on level 3. There is so much going on right now. I just wish we could share it with you, but it's not ready to be shown. And that line at the end is what stood out to me. There have been reports that the game is complete. There's been a lot of confirmation from folks inside and outside the studio that it is not getting delayed. It's coming this year, but it's not ready to be shown, and I'm curious as to why. There's a couple theories swirling around. There are some people to think the game is not ready. They're just doing this to kind of stay the tide before they have to make the unfortunate news of it being delayed out of 2022. I think this is the most unlikely theory given everything we've seen up to this point, but it is a theory. A lot of games are getting delayed out of 2022 into 2023, so I understand why people are saying this. However, in this instance, there's too many signs pointing to the game launching this year for that to be the most likely theory of the bunch. Many are saying they're waiting for a big Sony state of play to talk about God of War Ragnarok's release date and show a little bit more footage. I think that's probably the most likely theory of the bunch. There's like, it's not ready, it's getting delayed, and then there's that, no. They're waiting for a big state of play. I think what's at play here also is they haven't picked a release date. That's also very possible. They're not really sure where it's going to land. They're probably navigating, do we have time to finish a day one patch? Is there going to be a day one patch? What's it running like? If you look at Horizon Forbidden West, it had performance issues at launch, and we certainly don't want to see a return of that or a repeat of that, and that could be another element here. But I do think the most likely reality is there will be a big God of War Ragnarok Sony State of Play very soon with lots of goodies, footage, info, and that God of War Ragnarok release date we're all waiting for. As always, if you enjoyed this update, hit subscribe and the bell button, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'll see the rest of you right now. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Obviously, this one is got people all wound up. Do not forget, we will be also watching the Outriders live stream today. We'll be co-streaming that alongside of it. If you've just tuned in for the morning, go through your morning ritual, switch to live chat so everybody can see what you're saying, and you can see what everybody else is saying. Make sure to smash that like button. Get us our first 100 likes. Hopefully YouTube is rectifying some of the problems we have been having. If you haven't been seeing my streams, or you caught this as a VOD and you're like, I didn't get notified, I didn't see this video, make sure and every day check your subscription feed and check my channel. There's some weird stuff going on. Hopefully once it's rolled out, there'll be some helpful tools for us in the background to utilize, but in the meantime, we're suffering some strangeness on the platform, and those are things you can do to ensure you don't miss the shows. And smashing the like button, talking in chat, being here every day is a great way to help out. That communicates to YouTube that we're still going strong, even though they're kind of fiddling with stuff. So we appreciate the core, loyal audience tuning in every day in the midst of some of the platform struggles. We even had the stream kind of breaking yesterday. Their ingest servers were having some trouble. So if you missed yesterday, we had some great discussions about a variety of topics. We kicked off the day yesterday discussing if Call of Duty would be an Xbox exclusive ever, looking at some of the language about the return of the Verdansk map. We also looked at the details surrounding Halo Infinite Battle Royale leak. And today we're looking at God of War Ragnarok update from Cory Barlog about how the game is not ready to be shown, and I want to know what you guys think. I really do. This is a big title. This is probably going to be the biggest title of the year next to Elden Ring. I do think this game will overshadow Horizon Forbidden West in some ways. I think it's a more central title and more iconic title for the PlayStation platform, more long-term, more ongoing, and more associated with the PlayStation brand, I think. Mo thinks March of 2023. So, Mo, you're one of the people that actually thinks this thing's getting delayed. You don't believe the guy that works at the company that says, no, it's coming this year. Schreier, the one journalist who always has inside info, says it's not getting delayed. You don't believe those guys. You think, nah, this thing's getting delayed to next year. Starfield is the biggest title this year. I have such severe doubts that Starfield's coming this year. If there is one that is getting delayed, it is Starfield. I do not think we see Starfield this year, and that's not me being negative. That's just, I just don't think so. I think it's such an ambitious title. Ragnarok is certainly ambitious and certainly looking amazing, but it's also building on existing assets, existing IP, existing engine, and that gives you a significant advantage, and I just don't think they have that with Starfield. Yo, what's good, Feed? I see you in the chat. Guys, we need 22 more likes to get the first 100 likes on the video. Let's do it here. God of War Ragnarok release date. When is it happening? Right? 2022 or 2023? God of War Ragnarok release date. When is it happening? Let's see what you guys think. Let's just take this one all the way here. Let's see what everybody thinks. Is it coming in this year or not? Somebody said, welcome, Justin. Sony will have ads in games too. Video on that as well, or just Xbox hate? I contained that in the video, in the Xbox video. It came up multiple times. I said, Sony will do this too if they can make money on it. So, I mean, you want me to do a whole nother talk show being like, hey guys, Sony's going to do it too. And I wasn't hating on Microsoft in that video. I was actually talking about how there are sensible ways that they could do it, and it would be actually very lucrative for indie titles. So, sure, you want to falsely summarize my content, go ahead. It's a quick road out of my chat, though. Donovan says, I agree about Starfield. I think Starfield has the potential to be the new flagship title of Microsoft, and for that reason, I actually think it's more likely to get delayed than Ragnarok. Grader says, it's getting delayed. Starfield wants to go up for Game of the Year against Elden Ring, but not Ragnarok. So you think Ragnarok is going to delay because of Game of the Year, Gritter? Am I tracking your logic there? You think they want to avoid Elden Ring? They're scared of Elden Ring? So somebody that worked at the company says it's launching this year. Schreier says it's launching this year. Sony puts it on a blog that says it's targeted to launch this year, and they're scared of Elden Ring, so they're not going to launch. The logic doesn't track there, Gritter. Why would they be telling everybody it's coming out then? Elden Ring overshadowed Horizon Forbidden West. Does Sony dare release God of War 2022? And will Starfield overshadow it come 2022? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think the Game Awards are a factor. I don't think they're a factor as large as you're making it. I think you have an overrealized sense of Game of the Year award being important. I think the importance of it can be stated. It can also be overstated. I think you guys are overstating it. I highly doubt they have employees that have worked on Ragnarok telling the public the game is launching, and then they're going to be like, wait a minute, guys, why'd you do that? We are suddenly now scared of Elden Ring and Game of the Year. Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's so backwards. Elden Ring has been out long enough for them to publicly change the dialogue about Ragnarok, okay? Elden Ring's media darling treatment has already taken place. That's months ago. And since then, they've done nothing but convince and confirm to the public that this game is coming out on time. That doesn't make any sense. There's no reason. If they wanted to change the dialogue around God of War Ragnarok, they have missed that boat, and they've allowed employees to say things publicly? Come on. There's no way. For Sony, Game of the Year is a must for Ragnarok. Also, would they want Ragnarok to butt heads with Forbidden West? I had said that as well, Gritter. I had said that as well. Now, consider something with me, Gritter. Consider something with me. I have said that I could see them going for a holiday release, right? They could have it launch November the 20th, and then it's not competing against Forbidden West or Elden Ring. Now, that's more strategic with respect to marketing share. That's not them being scared of Elden Ring. Does that make sense? Like, I could see them being like, we don't want to cannibalize Forbidden West. Let it win adventure. Let it win action adventure. Let it have the potential to win Game of the Year. But there's also something to be said for, hey, we have a shot to take Game of the Year here. Forbidden West is going to lose Game of the Year to Elden Ring. Let's go. This game could win. Let's throw it up there, man. What are we doing? So they could do it. They could push it late November. I'm telling you, this game is coming this year. There's absolutely no way, and what Eugene is saying, 2 Game of the Year nominations in a year is better than just one winner, right? They're both getting up there listed. It's free advertisements. It's free trailer runs. It's, oh my gosh, that game looks amazing in front of a large audience. And I also agree. I think it's a secondary concern. I cannot see them letting the public think that this thing is coming, letting employees say that it's coming, and then being like, well, just kidding, we're scared of Elden Ring. You know what I mean? I love Elden Ring as much as many of you From Software heads, but I think some of y'all have an over-realized sense of what that game is. It is not a messiah. It's just another video game that's achieved greatness in a few realms. It's probably one of the greatest open world games built to date, and it's probably the best, well, no, it's not the best From Software game to date. That's up for debate, I think. I think that's between Bloodborne and Sekiro, but I don't know, man. I don't think that game, I do not think that game is this looming threat of God of War Ragnarok release date. I just don't think so. Eugene says not just employees, department directors. Right. Did you guys hear Barlog after the first showing? He said it'll take about the same amount of time. What are you referring to, Mo? What showing and what time? What's he referencing when he says take about the same amount of time? Hybrid says last Ragnarok. Oh, I think Ragnarok should absolutely give us an option to travel and explore Greece at will like the other realms. Creature says, why are we acting like it's not God of War? It could be bad and still crush. Facts, people want God of War not to come. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, it sounds like all you guys that really, really hope Starfield comes out this year, you kind of hope that Ragnarok doesn't land because you know it's a force to be reckoned with. Like, God of War Ragnarok is not a joke. Like, this is gonna be a big launch. It'll be the other big launch this year, 100%. It's the other gigantic title coming. Morning Lono, didn't get a notification about the stream. Still here. Topic today sounds good. Yeah, you can't rely on noties. I keep telling people, you just got to check you got to check your sub feed. You got to check your sub feed, and you got to check my channel. You have to. If you don't do those things, you might not see me. You just might not. So make sure you're doing those things. Guys, make sure you take the poll here. God of War Ragnarok release date. When is it happening? But this is tied 50-50. The Sony users and the Microsoft users are having a battle in my chat this morning. That is for sure. Do you think they're not looking at the PS5 availability user base and doing some calculus with their mind? If they really want Ragnarok to move units on the now current gen, that would be important. I don't think that's not a factor. But I definitely don't think it's factor. Like, they right now, okay, are nose down polishing graphics, and you have department heads saying no, it's coming this year. You have journalists with inside information say no, it's coming this year. You have Sony posting a blog that says it's coming this year. So I don't think that they somehow missed that as a factor and like, oh wait, we forgot about PlayStation 5 saturation. Like, they knew what the forecast was for PlayStation 5 saturation for 2022 back in, I don't know, probably January or February. If Cory didn't say that, I would have said it's coming out this year. So when he says it's not ready to show, Mo, you think that that's because the game's just not ready, it's not coming. I take his statement as saying it's not ready to show, there's going to be a big state of play. That's how I interpreted it. There's going to be a big shebang, a big God of War party. Look at what they did with Horizon Forbidden West. Horizon Forbidden West, what did we get? Like 1 or 2 trailers, and then we didn't get anything. Then they did State of Play. And what do they do after State of Play? After State of Play, it was new footage, new footage, new footage, new footage, new footage. This is a new unit. This is a new unit. Like, this is what it looks like on the PlayStation 4. Like, I think they're waiting for State of Play to open the floodgates. Gritter says, I think it's fair to say employees of Santa Monica are not afraid of anything, but for them, they want a no-nonsense landslide for Game of the Year against Starfield, Forbidden West, and Elden Ring. I don't think companies make decisions based on Game of the Year to the degree that you think they do, Gritter. I don't disagree, says Derek. I'm just wondering if they want to be the only AAA company to actually release a truly complete game on day one. Oh, for sure. For sure. I think Horizon Forbidden West, I think its launch is looming like a shadow to a certain degree over God of War Ragnarok release date. I think it is. I think it's looming because they're like, look, that was not a good look. That was a little embarrassing. The game launched with performance problems. That's not what you want to see from one of these big name titles. That's not what PlayStation is known for. PlayStation is known for big, graphically, driven first-player titles that are polished. Did you see that some of the PlayStation games are apparently coming to PC? What? That's old news, Black Superman. What do you mean? Are you talking about something separate than the fact that Horizon Zero Dawn, Days Gone, and Death Stranding have already come to PC? And that Uncharted is basically confirmed. Tsushima's rumored. God of War literally just came to PC a while ago. We played it and covered it. Are you talking about something separate, Black Superman? They have literally like a Sony Studios storefront in the Steam application. Unless you're talking about something else that I might have missed in the news cycle. I'm not saying that God of War is not coming in 2022, says Jacob, but rather that Starfield is 11/11/22, and Todd said that date is in ink. All right. Okay. I mean, listen. Let me be clear about something. I want to play Starfield. I do. Oh, sorry, Discord homies. I'm really sorry. I was in the wrong chat and everything. I'm really sorry. I was clicked on members instead of live chat. I really am sorry about that. Yeah, everybody's pinging me now. Even Creatures DMing me. Hey guys, do me a favor. There's a lot of ways to support the stream. The 2 easiest ways are free. Hit subscribe, hit the bell button, and hit that like button, all right? Let's set our sights on 200 likes. There's other ways to support the stream, all right? It's Thursday. That means we're doing Third Stream Thursday, or whatever we're calling it, Throwdown Thursday. There's a third stream today. It's extra, and it's members only. If there's spicy gaming topics, drama with streamers, or whatever, and you want to ask me about it, I don't like covering that stuff on the public streams, but you can use the members-only stream this afternoon to do that, all right? So we're covering God of War Ragnarok, then we're covering the Outriders live stream, so do me a favor. Consider becoming a member if you want to be here for the members-only stuff. Tomorrow night is community game night. Fortnite no-build squads. It's free on every platform and crossplay. Get it installed if you're a member. Become a member if you want to play and be here tomorrow night for community game night. Every Friday we do a Friday night stream that's members only. Typically my wife is here. If we get enough members, I'm going to have her join us and play. So, crank those member numbers up, all right? We need 15 today and 10 tomorrow. We need 25 more members to hit the goal I set for you if you want Madam to join us tomorrow night, okay? So, consider clicking join. I've got a fancy thing to talk about here in a second, but I don't want to overwhelm you with too many calls to action. Let's get back to the discussion here. Yo, good morning, Savage Sharkbite. What's good, Lono and everybody? Yo, what's good? Yeah, don't forget about the coffee. Thank you, Heavy Metal Mama. Let's just hope that it's not Starfield 76. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you about Starfield. I think it gets delayed, but I actually think it's going to be a very good game. I'm not going to try and hype you up, but I have a good feeling about Starfield. I do. Gritter says, Forbidden West Day 1 launch could be a huge factor as well. Pressure to make sure Ragnarok is the first AAA in a while to launch with absolutely no bugs at all, says Gritter. Black Superman says, God of War Ragnarok, Demon Souls, Ratchet & Clank, Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo 7, and Ghost of Tsushima supposedly coming to PC. Yeah, Black Superman, that's not exactly new news. That's not exactly new news. Because God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn and Days Gone already came. So, like, is there something new that's spurring you on to say that? Because that's not new. I'm not being dismissive. You know I love you. But that's not new news. Did you read something, or did something recently come out? Did something recently come out to make you say that? Like, has there been a new leak or something? Because I theorized, we have a whole video where I took a statement about how they made the port and how that influenced Ragnarok development, and I was like, oh, God of War Ragnarok's coming to PC, no doubt. There was a whole article about it. They basically talked about how they learned things when they ported God of War Ragnarok to PC, and they changed pipeline, like, background work on Ragnarok. And I'm like, oh, so you basically built Ragnarok ready to come to PC because you learned this over here. So that means the foundational development of God of War Ragnarok has been built to come to PC. Okay, I think I made good argumentation. I think it was fair inference and extrapolation. I don't think I was like winding up crazy theories. So we've kind of already covered that. Is there something new? I don't know when an article stated it. Okay, you may just be a little late to that. Yeah, we've covered that before and specifically we covered it with Ragnarok because there was an article about what they learned porting the first God of War, God of War 2018. God of War 2018 coming to PC, they learned things that influenced the development of God of War Ragnarok. So Ragnarok, I theorized, comes to PC 18 months after launch. Eugene thinks it's 24 months. I think it's 12 to 18 months. I think they're going to shrink that window. Now, there's good reason to not do that. People are like, they're not going to do that. Why would they do that? The PS5s haven't even hit good market saturation. They're going to wait. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they might wait. Guess I'm a little late. My bad. No, you're good. I was interested, Superman, because if you know me, I want Ghost of Tsushima on PC. I will lose my frickin' mind if they do that. Like, I absolutely adore that game, and being able to play it on PC would be just phenomenal. This is a quote from the Twitter video, says Butters. So please hold tight. We know that something cool is coming, and that we here, everybody at Santa Monica, are so incredibly thankful for your support. This is a massive far left field take, but what if PlayStation wants to push the PSVR 2 with experiences from their big AAA exclusives, so they're doing that like what they're doing with Horizon, since these are launching later anyway? Butters, I know you love that PSVR 2. Like, you love VR, right? And so you're seeing that in everything. I'm telling you what, when he says hold tight, something cool is coming, I think he's saying hold tight, there's going to be a state of play that's all about Ragnarok. Like, I take it at that level. I don't think you're wrong to say, hey, they might start really trying to push PSVR 2 with side stories like Horizon. I don't think that's bad theory. I don't think that has anything to do with what he was saying, though. Do you understand how I'm slicing that? I think your theory is fine. Hey, man, they might start doing this. They're big titles. Can you imagine swinging through New York as Spider-Man on the PSVR 2 with this little side story that they did? Yeah, I could see it. I could see them doing it with Ragnarok. 100%. You know, some kind of an axe throwing simulator or something. I don't know. Like, throwing that axe would probably be pretty dadgum awesome in VR and, like, trying to catch it. I don't know. Yes, I think they could do that. I do not think that's what Cory Barlog is referencing. I think he's referencing a Sony State of Play, God of War Ragnarok, center stage. That's all they're talking about. What people need to understand, says Cory, is that most of all, the PlayStation games are going to go to PC. The question is when. The reality is Sony is going to allow games to run their course on PlayStation before it goes to PC. Eugene says, hold tight. You're about to get a 30-minute reveal. What? 30-minute reveal of what? Oh, you're saying that's what Cory's saying. Hilly says, Starfield is fully playable from start to finish. Release date is firmly set in stone. You know what? I hope it happens, Hilly. Do you want to know why? I need some dadgum games to cover and play, for frick's sake. Like, I have no problem. I'm not wishing for a delay of Starfield. It's just my gut instinct. I need some dadgum games to play. I need some live service games to come out, right? We need something. Insomniac is looking for a senior... I have to drag it over. I can't see what it says. Senior gameplay manager to help us build world-class engineering team for our new multiplayer project. Insomniac is working on a multiplayer project. Oh, boy. That could be a live service game for Sony. That could be one of them. Hilly says, speaking to IGN in the latest interview, Bethesda's Todd Howard said that Starfield's release date is in ink, not pencil. Such a statement certainly oozes with confidence. Listen, I'll be fair. I'll be fair to both sides. You got department heads at Santa Monica saying God of War Ragnarok release date is this year. And I'm taking that as gospel. I'll take Todd Howard saying that as gospel. You need some live service games to come out that die after a week. No, I need them to not die after a week. Shut up, Crazy Cliff. Don't put that voodoo on all the live service games coming out. Dadgummit. I need something to survive. Please. 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 I really need something. Please. New World could have been it, man. It really could have. And friggin' Lost Ark. Lost Ark was just kind of poorly timed. If Lost Ark would have had about a month of buffer, I think we could have maybe planted a flag there a little bit longer. Hey, did you see the new Star Wars game is in development? I have, and I'm gonna make a joke, and it's not about what you're saying or what you're doing, but that's like the new thing, right? Hey, did you see some companies making a Star Wars game? Like, how many companies are making Star Wars games right now? Right? There's so many. It's like every other day. They're like, bro, did you see so-and-so's making a Star Wars game? Oh, really? Did you guys see Milton Bradley's making a Star Wars game? I feel like every other day, some random developer's like, we're making a Star Wars game too. Got the coffee last night, Lono. Huge thank you again, not only for the amazing product, but also for the shipping speed. Hey, thank you for ordering that coffee. Let's see if we've had any coffee orders today. Let's see. We submitted your channel as soon as we received it. Waiting to hear back confirmation. Unfortunately, it can take a couple days for the channel to be registered. We're researching how to bypass. Rest assured, you can use our music. And you're not being hit with claims. Simply release emails. Unfortunately, This video got hit with claims, and they are still there. Let me show you a screenshot, sir. So we like to use StreamTunes music on the videos, and I accidentally used StreamTunes music when we went over to Reforge Radio, and I hadn't yet confirmed that we were good to go over there, and I got hit with a bunch of claims. Now, we're not in trouble or anything, but that doesn't help the video. That does not help the videos, because YouTube's like, blah, we don't want to use that. So I'm letting him know, like, hey, brother man, my wife literally texted me about being muted in Discord. That is absolutely phenomenal. Guys, we are on the final stretch on the on the Talk website, on that app. I don't want to say the name. It got really weird yesterday anytime I said the name. It's like they're getting angry when you say the name. The Dead franchise always get new games, says Last Hybrid. Derek says, I'm quite surprised you didn't try and stick it out with Lost Ark. I know the From guys treat you well, but I think Lost Ark has more potential for an audience, player-based longevity. Let me explain to you why Lost Ark didn't work, and it was nobody's fault. Well, it was. It was Amazon's fault. Amazon loves their platform. And their platform is the Purple platform. They own the Purple streaming platform. So the day that I decided Lost Ark was a lost cause on YouTube was the day where I saw 150,000 people watching streamers over there, and there were 753 viewers in total on YouTube. And I said, this is a waste of time. Unfortunately, they funneled the entire viewing public over there for free drops because they own the Purple platform. They were the one that published the game. It makes perfect sense. So, with as much respect as I can muster, frick your game. Like, I'm not going to cover and play your game on a platform that gets zero love. It's a waste of time. It sucks because we had people playing, we started a guild, we were really enjoying ourselves, but, you know, frick you, Amazon. Seriously. And frick the Purple platform. Frick everybody. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, frick you. No, we can't cover it. Like, they funneled all the viewership over there. There was nothing I could do. It's like 150,700. Like, it's not even close. It wasn't even close. It was a lost cause. Now, you want to upload guide videos and curated content, that does really well over here. Why? Because that's what this platform is. Like, people aren't doing guide videos on Purple, they're live streaming, and people are getting free drops. So, sadly, Amazon shot that game in the foot as far as getting any traction for a live audience on YouTube. So, they already said God of War wasn't coming this year. They did not say that. That hasn't been stated once at all by a single person from the company or Sony. The exact opposite has been stated fairly regularly. There was a employee in a department head said it's coming this year. There was another employee that said it's complete. His daughter has played it. There was the Sony blog that said it's targeting this year. There was Schreier, the journalist who gets lots of inside information. I don't say his full name because it gives me nausea because he's scum. But anyway, he said it's not getting delayed. So, yeah, I mean, it's not getting delayed. There's no way. It's coming this year. You wouldn't have department heads and journalists and blogs from Sony saying it's coming this year if it wasn't. That'd be ridiculous. That would be absolutely ridiculous. What did he do? What did he not do, Sven? Somebody fill in Sven in the Discord. I don't feel like talking about it. Everybody has a love-hate relationship with Amazon. They suck until they drop off some cool on your front door. It wasn't my situation. It was the entire situation that happened that summer, Sven. He protected an actual criminal. So, yeah, he's scum. They said it was coming last year, too. No. No, one more. No, you can't count that. You can't go back and say, oh my gosh, they said that it was going to come out last year and it didn't, so therefore it's unlikely it's coming out this year. Yeah, you can't use that. You know You know deep down that's not a good argument. It's not a good argument. You could use that for any game right now that says it's coming out. Use it for any game that got delayed from 2021. Are you going to do that with every game's release? I don't know, guys. They say it's releasing tomorrow, but, you know, they said it was going to release last year and it got delayed, so it's probably not coming. You know, it's probably not. Just being spicy. No, I know. And with a name like Dr. Dinglenut, it's, you know, I got to take everything you say very seriously. I really do. I've got to, I have to treat you with the utmost respect and seriousness, you know? We're not playing games with 2021, 2020, and 2019 unless you're under a rock. I'm not sure what you mean, Aunt F. It's coming December 31st of this year. Maybe his daughter played the DLC version. Jacob says, I don't need Starfield to release in 22, even if I want it, because I ordered the original Xbox 2 days ago, which came today with 10 games. Gonna get it grabbed later. Yeah, I saw your comment late at the end of yesterday's stream about grabbing an Xbox and getting a bunch of games and stuff. Unfortunately, I couldn't respond to you. We had already shut the stream down, or we were already moving or whatever. We were moving to another stream. We're traveling Saturday. Let's connect sometime. What's something for next week? Sounds good. Sounds good. How's it going, by the way? Going good. YouTube being YouTube. But overall, good. Sorry, Andrew is texting me. We're trying to reconnect, he and I. They're working on the Project A6 album right now, and so we haven't been able to connect to like work on planning and strategizing for the show that we want to launch. And so he's like connecting with me. And if I don't answer right now, it's like I'll forget, because it's one of those things where I accidentally opened the text and I was like, oh shoot. Do you ever do that? You like open up a text message and you're like, I literally have to reply right now. If I don't reply right now, then I'm going to forget. Like, this will be out in the ether later. If you're just tuning in, we are discussing a God of War Ragnarok update from Cory Barlog, saying the game is not ready to show. So we are asking you, when do you think the God of War Ragnarok release date will happen? Half of you are saying this year, and half of you are saying the other year. I wonder what the percentage of Microsoft fans is in each pool and what percentage of Sony fans is in each pool of votes. Probably a pretty even divide. Almost 300 votes on the poll, so make sure and cast your vote at the top there. If you're enjoying the show, do me a favor and smash that like button and hit subscribe as well. I swear to frick, they're sealing us. We're getting sealinged. We are getting sealinged, creature. I believe it. It's time for a conspiracy theory. Lono name dropping that he's just casually texting a rock star. No, I'm not trying to name drop. I'm trying to let people know I don't like interrupting the show to text message. I wanted people to know that it was somewhat serious. It wasn't just me being like, you know, yeah, what's up, dude? It's not me. It's not just me like texting my neighbor about a cookout. You know what I mean? God of War was delayed from 2021 to 2022. Elden Ring was delayed from January to February, says Tommy. Yeah, it got delayed by a month. I remember that. Y'all know the astronaut meme with the pistol? A big game has been delayed and then still comes out unfinished? Always has been. Cory Barlog deactivated his Twitter? What was he... What? Was he getting inundated or something? What do you mean he deactivated? He did that a while ago? Oh. I mean, maybe he just got tired of being inundated. I mean, he sent out an update from the Sony Santa Monica Twitter account. Maybe they are managing expectations by not showing footage. So many times fans get overhyped only to be let down because they expected too much. I think the most likely theory is, again, they're going to be doing a Sony State of Play God of War Ragnarok. Like, that's what it's going to be. That's what's happening. That's what's coming. There's zero doubt in my mind that that's why they're waiting. Like, I'm very confident that's the reasoning. The reasoning is not, oh crap, it's not ready. Oh shoot, you know, Dave deleted a couple hard drives. Like, I think it's literally so they can do a Sony State of Play. Eugene says, I don't know how you can take a look that the development, the schedule they were on prior to injuries in the sickie, and then see what insiders and now a game director have said and not be like, nah, not 2022. Well, I mean, you got Todd Howard saying that Starfield's coming this year, and people are like, that's gospel. You got multiple people, including employees from Sony Santa Monica studio heads saying it's coming this year, and you're like, I don't know. I don't know, man. If it was landed on an Xbox, I think people would be interpreting it a little bit different. Nah, they always do Sony State of Play. Yes. Why is that a cause for disagreement, Mo? Why is that a cause for disagreement, Mo? They did a Sony State of Play on Horizon Forbidden West. It stands to reason they're going to do a Sony State of Play for God of War Ragnarok. That just makes sense. It's a big, giant first-party title. They're going to give it center stage. Sven says, I think there's too much evidence from devs' personal accounts and just random comments by them that it's going to release this year rather than 2023. I bet the game is already done and ready to release. Across the Spider-Verse, June of next year. What, is that another movie? Release dates for both games? Wait, what is that? Is that a movie or a game? That's not a... No, it's a movie. Release dates for both games, nice. You put games, I got really excited. You frick, Sven, go sit in the corner. Go sit in the corner. You just got me excited. I thought there was a Spider-Verse game. You son of a Sven. You son of a Sven. Jiminy Christmas. You can't do that. It's early. I'm out of Frickmas. It's early. I'm out of Frickmas. I just got Lono all wound up. Like, oh my gosh, did they just announce a Spider-Verse game? Oh my god. Like, oh, you... Okay, it's fine. I forgive you. Ugh, Jiminy Christmas. Kratos says God of War Ragnarok. Yeah, they delayed production because he injured his dadgum back. All right. Okay, listen. If you're just tuning in, thanks so much for being here. We're discussing a God of War Ragnarok update, and we're theorizing why it's not ready to show. Let me know what you think in the chat. Subscribing is free, and that's how you talk in my chat. So do me a favor, hit subscribe and let us know what your theory is. My theory is they're waiting to do a Sony State of Play, right? What are you waiting for on hitting the join button? I'm just kidding. But seriously, click the join button, become a member. It's $5 a month. You get a badge and emotes, and you get access to my extra streams. We're doing an extra third stream today for members only. You can ask me more spicy questions about nonsense going on in the gaming world that I might not want to cover here. And then tomorrow night's community game night. Make sure Fortnite's installed and updated if you want to take part. I don't care if you don't like it. I don't like it. It's Fortnite. But we're going to have fun. No build squads. So, it's crossplay. It's free. It's everywhere. Just install it and shut the frick up and be here and pay me money. Like that. That's all I need. That's all I need. Just do those things. God of War Ragnarok is great, bro. Oh, have you played it? How good is it? That's the next animation Spidey movie. The first one was spectacular. Oh, I love the first one. I really did. I want a video game. That's what I want. What time is a third stream? It'll probably be around 1:30, 2 o'clock Eastern, somewhere in that, spectrum. We're going to be watching the Outriders live stream today. Outriders World Slayer, their next big update. We'll be talking about that. Guys, do me a favor as well. If you're in the market for a new mouse, right? If you're in the market for a new mouse, do me a favor. You're going to want to check out this ROCCAT. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to say it. Is it supposed to be like Rocket? ROCCAT. It's actually the most comfortable mouse I think I've ever put my hands on. I'm not saying that to sell you on it. Really, I put my hands on it last night and I was like, this is the most comfortable mouse ever. This is the ROCCAT Cone XP. It's got 29 button function, 15 customizable buttons, and a bunch of lights. I forget how many lights. It's a lot of lights. It's a dadgum Christmas tree inside of a mouse, okay? So use the mouse command to order one, and you can use my code, all right? Better than the G502. I'm going to use it in Fortnite tomorrow and see, because I like the side buttons. It's more comfortable than the G502. I haven't used it yet with respect to the buttons on the side for Fortnite, okay? But you already have that mouse. Tell them how it is, Joker. Use the mouse command. The code is really long. It's G10- Reforge_Gaming. What in the actual frick? That's the code. And then make sure and divide it by 8 and then call your mom and ask her what her middle name is. But the code is G10-Reforge_Gaming at ROCCAT.com/products/cone-XP. We're making it really hard on you. All right, there you go. There you go. They're probably going to do State of Play sometime next week. Wait a minute. What is that? What is that wrench? Are you is that a global moderator? Or did you somehow put that in your name? What are like Captain Vivi? Are you like a global YouTube moderator or something? Anyways, check that out. I need to timestamp that. What was that? That was 4330? How did you get a gray wrench next to your name? Let's see. It was 4330 ROCCAT. I gotta timestamp that. That's got to be custom. That's just an emoji. Oh, okay. I was like, do we have like a global moderator in here right now? What in the heck's happening? Put this right here. Nice little timestamp. No, that's not it. Anyways, if you're just tuning in, enjoy the show, use the mouse command, use all the commands. This t-shirt's from the X-Men collection over at 80s Tees, so use my code over there. Captain Vivi says, what? You don't see the wrench next to your name? Oh, you're just trolling. They're probably waiting to do a State of Play sometime next week or in May. I actually agree with what you're saying. I'm just curious how you have a wrench on your name. Ban everyone. Chest pain? No. We don't want that. That is not helpful. That is not helpful. Guys, we are on the runway over there on TikTok. We need 71 more followers to unlock live streaming, man. Use that command in chat or go follow Reforge TV. It's a fake wrench for my emojis. Oh, it doesn't look like that for me, Barrier. It looks like official. It looks super official. Watch. Let me snip this for you guys. That is, it creeped me the frick out. It creeped me the frick out. Look how official it looks in my chat. Look at that. It's like the same color as their name. Like a little icon. I'm like, what is that? You're gonna come in and ban everybody. It looks all cheesy on yours. It looks super cheesy on your screen, Barrier. On mine, it looked like, I was like, oh my gosh, a global moderator just came in. They're gonna, everybody be on your best behavior. You know what I mean? And for our next segment, we're gonna sing Jesus Loves You. I'm just kidding. I am just kidding. We are launching the Daily Prodigal playlist today on Reforge Radio. I'm going to talk about, it's going to be part 1. There's too much to get into, but I am going to talk about growing up in the church. We don't talk about that stuff here, but I think it might resonate with a lot of people. Some of the stories I have to tell and some of the things I have to share. So hopefully I see you this afternoon over on Reforge Radio. It's our more serious channel. And yesterday, for fun, we're going to do silly debates once a week. Yesterday, we debated Star Wars versus Star Trek. But today, we're talking God of War Ragnarok update. And do you think the God of War Ragnarok release date, is it this year or next year? Vote in the poll. Let me know in the chat what you think's going on. Cory Barlog said the game is not ready to show. What does that mean? The frick's he saying? Why is he saying it? Why is he handsome? Let us know what you think in the chat. Yet somehow we are talking about it here. No, I'm advertising it. I'm advertising. I'm allowed to advertise. Shut up, creature. Go make thumbnails or something. Jiminy. I got the Bob the Builder wrench. Yeah, I'm telling you. There you go. Old Soul. It looks legitimate, doesn't it? I'm going to get chills when I hear boy for the first time. Oh, I should have done one before my voice warmed up. When my voice is like really low and gravelly in the morning, I can get a pretty good one. Boy. Read it, boy. You are not ready, boy. Yeah, it's not as good now. Boy. Spider-Man Sven's Revenge. He put it in there. I gotta show the chat. Chat, you gotta see this. Hilly's back at it again. Oh, here we go again. Hilly with the Photoshop. Hilly with the Photoshop. Guys, can you look at the treachery? Look at the treachery of Sven. He went to great lengths to make it seem like Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse was coming out as a video game. Look at that. Look at it. He put it in Steam and everything. Just absolutely horrendous. Sven, how dare you? How dare you put that out there? That's just unbelievable. That's fake. Yo, what's good, Zubair? Yeah, Creature, go make thumbnails. They're exactly what I wanted them to be. What? If he doesn't call him boy a few times at least, we're not buying. Yeah. This is why y'all should be in Discord. You really should be in Discord. Our Discord is the same as all of our other platforms. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. It's all Reforge TV. And Discord is the same. It's just Reforge TV. Discord.gg/ReforgeTV. So if you want to connect with me on any of the other platforms or our Discord, just Reforge TV. But you can connect right now, talk in the chat. Subscribing is free. Let's hit 200 likes before we hit the first hour of the show. We only need 9 more likes. Let's do it. Slam it home. Make sure that... Listen, if you are not seeing my streams as often, make sure you're checking your subscription feed or my channel every day. YouTube has just completely and utterly jacked some things up, and I am not showing up to everybody. So if you're like, I haven't seen you in a couple weeks, check those 2 places before you write me off every day. Like if you open up the app, down at the bottom, you can go to your subscriptions tab. I'll be there. I'll be live, okay? Check that. Don't just check your recommended feed, all right? Hey, our first new member of the day, Auto Rules. Enjoy the dope badge and emotes. You are dope and deserve dope stuff. Welcome to Reforge Gaming. Enjoy the extra stream today. There's a Thursday Throwdown stream every Thursday. It's an extra stream. I am not taking away content from you if you're not a member, so don't worry. It's extra. And we will be discussing anything you want about gaming. It's your stream, your members. Let's have some fun. Don't forget that tomorrow night is community game night as well. Every Friday I stream with my wife and we play games and have drinks, and it's hilarious, and you should be there. She makes fun of me worse than you do, so that's worth the price of admission, all right? I expect 100 members right now just because I said that. That's worth the price of admission. She literally makes fun of me. She cuts deep, man. She really does. If you've watched me play Elden Ring, she cuts deep. She gets out a machete and she digs. You guys don't want to miss it. But this Friday night, we're doing our monthly community game night. It's Fortnite. Get it installed and updated. It's free and totally cross-play. I had to mute my Discord. I was getting dings for every single message across all the servers I'm in. It killed my phone in like an hour. You can mute the server's Vengeance. Hold your finger down on the server and say mute server until I say so. So yeah, it borders on bullying. Yeah. I mean, I've not said this before, but I've been seeing a therapist for 4 years, and she and I now go together, and that's one of the reasons is because of the fright. I'm just kidding. It's not. We actually talked to him about it, and he was like. And it's okay? It's not causing any issues? I was like, oh, no. It's fun. She goes straight to the bone. She's digging for bone marrow, dude. She's digging for bone marrow when she cuts and she makes fun of me, man. She goes all the way. What makes it fun is that Lono can't really clap back to Madam. You can see him get the insult and play it off with a giggle. Oh, man. Apologies, you cannot. Please do not try any hacks. Don't try any hacks. Who's trying to hack? Trying to hack the Gibson? Can I be a member for free, bro? No, it costs $5 a month. Listen, $5 a month adds up when tons of people do it. I know you might think, oh, I don't need to do that. YouTube doesn't really have like a spending culture because you might be doing YouTube Premium or you just watch the ads because you're awesome. Lots of people don't do that. They run like ad blocker. So if you do YouTube Premium or watch ads, you are stellar. We're a live streamer though. Like this is a live stream channel. Ads are not, ads are like nothing for us, right? We need a membership pool. So we're trying to, in a healthy way, foster that spending culture by saying, hey, you get extra content, but then we're also saying we're not taking content from the rest of the channel, okay? I'm doing, how many streams am I doing now a week? 16 streams a week? I'm doing 17, and you get 14 for nothing, all right? 14 just No pay required streams. And we're doing three out of 17, all right? And we're looking at changing the way the day flows, okay? Just so that we have an opportunity. We might start taking the talk shows and make them more 2 to 2.5 hours every day. We don't want to let them wander to 3. We want to keep them closer to 2 hours. And that may open up opportunities for more gameplay, because we do think gameplay is missing. This is primarily a talk show, so if you've never been here before, it's basically video game radio. It's safe for work, Monday through Friday. We're here talking games, chopping it up. Today's topic, God of War Ragnarok update. Cory Barlog says it's not ready to show, and we're theorizing why. And let us know what you think in the chat, and vote on our poll. The poll's split right down the middle. God of War Ragnarok release date, when is it happening? Because I'm safe for work, a lot of people subscribe in confidence. I'm in your sub feed all week, doing a show. People throw me on in the background like a radio or like a podcast. So, and if you do YouTube Premium, you can minimize the phone app and just throw me on just like a radio show. Just go about your day, right? But memberships are needed. We've got our own coffee. I'm always wearing a t-shirt from 80s Tees. Check out this ROCCAT Mouse. Use the mouse command. Use my code. Those are all great ways to support what we do. It's easy to hit subscribe and like. That's free. So just do that if you're enjoying the show at a bare minimum. Doesn't YouTube take like 40%? It's a 70-30 split. I wish it was 90-10, but what are you going to do? They built the infrastructure. Better than 50-50 on purple. Better than 50-50. Better than 50-50 on purple, but, you know. Eventually, they're supposed to... YouTube Premium, you're supposed to get like 1 free membership a month if you do YouTube Premium. So, I'm curious, the people that are voting that they think God of War Ragnarok release date is going to be next year, okay? I'm actually curious. I'm very, very curious why you think that. Like, I want some argumentation. Like, let's argue. I want to have an argument right now. When I insult my wife, I prepare for violence. I suggest you do the same. Yo, what's good, GC Plugs? I'll just start mailing you cash. I mean, I wouldn't stop you. Is there a precedent for a publisher or dev lying and saying something isn't ready to show and then having a huge, earlier than expected surprise? I don't know if there's a precedent for that, Derek. What I think it is, I think it's just basic honesty. It's just not ready to show. We're going to show you. It's going to be awesome, but it isn't ready. Just call me GC. All right, GC. Need some reasons based in fact, not speculation. The subscription is $5, right? Yeah, we have 5 tiers of membership, and tier 1's $5. That's where most people land. Yes, I'm almost halfway through the year and still no gameplay, and really not many trailers, says Fozzie. So Fozzie, you think it's the lack of them showing us anything? You're like, no. This thing's getting bumped. I do think they are ready to release it this year. I think it will be... Oh, you don't think it'll be February? I think it'll be in 2023. Those of you that are saying it'll be in 2023, I'm curious. Are you going to buy it, and do you have a PlayStation? Or are you just speculating based on what you've seen in the market lately? Andrew says, it was Cory who gave the message. Why not the actual making the game? Why are we trying to get brownie points with Cory? Because people love him, understandably? Who's trying to get brownie points with... I don't understand what you're saying. We the People says, I believe in the current wake of bad games and the fallout. If they are saying it isn't ready to show, then they are still way too deep in the development stage to push it out. But he said the opposite. He said they're polishing the graphics right now. Another person who has worked on the game essentially confirmed that it's done, saying his daughter had played it or enjoyed playing the new one. So I don't know if there's grounds to think that they are... I don't know if there's grounds to think they are doing deep in code right now. I plan to buy it once I get a PlayStation. What's my favorite game of all time? It's really hard to pick one. I typically would pick like Hellblade. I think it's probably one of the greatest games ever made. I don't think Sony is playing the Elden Ring game and showing everything at the last moment. Sony invests too much for that, says On God. Or Angad. Vengeance with a $10 tip. For the low price of $5 a month, you too can gain a dope badge, emotes, and access to members-only streams. And you can also stand with Mo. Thank you for the $10 tip, Vengeance. East Coast Overlord with a $2 tip. It's 2023. Either way, I play on PC. Yeah, but why? If you're just tuning in, we're debating the God of War Ragnarok release date. Because Cory Barlog did like a God of War Ragnarok update on Twitter and said it's not ready to show, so people are saying they don't think it's ready to launch this year. That's what folks are saying. Donkey Sausage renewing that Reforge Gaming Tier 1 membership. Welcome back. Not Ori. Ori's up there, man, but I don't know. Hellblade is like a spiritual experience for me, bro. It's not just a video game. Ghost of Tsushima was a spiritual experience for me. Those games spoke to my soul. I didn't just go in and see pretty colors and do fun stuff. Those games speak to a part of me that's not physical, man. I'm telling you, those games are special. I'm saying people like Cory, that's why they wanted him giving the message, but he's already said he's not working on God of War game, or not entirely, so why wouldn't they have the actual devs do it? What do you mean? He's the producer. Everybody's hashtag Amber Turd is trending on Twitter. Love the internet as much as I hate it sometimes. Amber Turd. I love when people literally pay a little extra money just to take a shot at one of our regulars. Cory isn't the director. He's the producer. Not being ready to show could be as simple as presentation's not ready. Right. Hilly Hijink says, I think both God of War and Starfield will be out before Halo Infinite has Forge or co-op. Oh, Meat Poo was trending yesterday. Yeah. Just go get him, Johnny. Get all these crying wolf crying. Anyway. God of War Ragnarok is done. They're just polishing it, checking it for bugs and glitches. They don't want another Cyberpunk. The marketing materials aren't done. Yeah, you gotta think, if they're doing a Sony State of Play that is purely God of War Ragnarok, you gotta wonder the work that goes into that. You gotta have B-roll. You gotta have maybe a playable demo section that somebody can actually sit there and be on the sticks and play. You gotta have interviews. You gotta have promotional materials. You have to have a studio set up with graphics and lighting, and it's not a stream. You know what I'm saying? It's not what I do, where they type in all caps in a Word doc and they're like, good to go. Like, they actually put quite a bit more into it. Now, I put more into my live streams than probably most, but I'm telling you right now, there's a lot that goes into this, and that's more than likely why they just can't show or say anything. They were like, listen, if you want to show anything, you want to promote the game, we're not going to do it half-cocked. You are going to do a State of Play. It's going to be huge. We're going to throw money at it. And, maybe we're going to get a celebrity. Maybe we're going to get some like super strong, presence. Or maybe we really, really want a particular host. Maybe they're trying to schedule that. I don't know. There's a lot that goes into these things. 931, man. We now need 69 followers over there. What a great number. How long before Horizon Forbidden West did they start showing gameplay? I don't know, but I know that we didn't see that much. I feel like we saw almost the exact same thing. We got like a pretty good trailer of gameplay of Forbidden West, and then that was it. And then, woof, they hit us with the State of Play. Trying to get The Rock. Nice. Oh, they're trying to get The Rock? 69 more members? No. Followers. We're so close. We're on that runway. I really hope we can unlock it for next week and just hit the ground running over there. I'm telling you, it's happening. It is, the movement towards streaming over there is happening. News outlets are streaming over there now. Insomniac Black with a $5 tip, Lono's therapist. And her making fun of you isn't causing you any problems? Lono slowly looks at Madam for the okay to answer. We shouldn't joke about that kind of stuff, but that's pretty funny. What time is the Outriders live stream today? It's noon Eastern. We'll go over a little early. We'll go over a little bit early. Horizon Forbidden West was the number 2 sold game overall in February behind Elden Ring and number 1 on the PlayStation. For March, it was number 3 sold game on PlayStation. Santa Monica Studios says, hang tight. That's not you. I can go to your channel right now, you impersonator. Yeah. 6 subscribers, and you joined YouTube last year. You aren't Sony Santa Monica Studios. You're a faker. I can go to your channels now. Like, I can click on a person and go to their channel. So impersonators get no traction. Some guy tried to do that. He tried to act like he was Mr. Beast. I was like, no, you're not. If you'd made shorts promoting your TikTok, you'd be there by now. I don't like making shorts. I'm supposed to be making them in the morning, and I haven't done it yet. I'll do it, maybe. Horizon Forbidden West demo was actually not in the game. They may be doing the same thing and building a new mission for the demo. Oh my gosh, you're right. You're right. Why didn't we... No, that... I wonder if that's... Do you think that's DLC, Zubair? Is Zubair right? We never went and did that. We never went and fought and saved Erend. What is that from? Is that a side mission? I don't remember doing that. Eugene, is that in the game? You played it more completionist than me. Or did they just literally use that for a trailer? I feel like that might end up being a DLC maybe or something. Maybe that's how you kick off a DLC. You never saw it. Yeah, we never did that. It was just a demo. The map is from the game. Have they addressed that publicly and said that Horizon Forbidden West mission was purely just for the commercial? They're getting something. They pick up some piece of something, and then the storm overhead bruise. Cutscene wasn't there either. Yeah, I mean, you don't rescue him. When you run into him, he does need quote unquote rescued. He's up on that. He's up on that thing. Okay, you got called out for being a fake, so just go away. I checked the Forbidden West State of Play. It was 9 months before release. If you look at God of War, it doesn't make this year. You're assuming that that's like a rigid timeline and they do it that way every single time. Oh yeah, she saves the black guy that was injured. He's laying there and she gives him some water. He kind of reminded me of Morgan from The Walking Dead. Yeah. That's not in the game either. I'm telling you, I wonder if that's DLC. The demo is not in the game at all. The demo is made up from certain elements of scenes from the game. Horizon Forbidden West cut mission save Erend. So are they just drawing attention to it? Its sales are dropping now. Check this month. Wait, the Horizon Forbidden West sales are dropping now? You do realize it's almost May. That's normal. Are you saying that's indicative of something, or are you just observing that the sales are dropping? Because yeah, that's normal for, I think, literally any product in existence. I just want to know when Lono is going to cover Ghost Runner 2, the superior sequel of all sequels. We think we're going to start being able to do more gameplay here. They'll be really short spurts though, 1, maybe 2 hours before we go to radio every day, but it's not going to be every day of the week. They just saw a 300% increase in sales, says Eugene. Elden Ring is holding up for PS5. Eugene's saying that Horizon Forbidden West just saw a bump in sales because they just had a big distribution of PS5s. So you may be incorrect. I'm not declaring you incorrect yet, but I'm fairly certain Eugene put an article in the Discord yesterday that highlighted the fact that as soon as PS5s have a big push of circulation, they have a giant jump in sales for all their first-party titles. So, I think you're wrong. That means the game is dead? Yeah, man. 4 months in. 4 months in. It's number 3 in sales on PlayStation behind GT7, which released in March. Other games are selling more. See, I've always wondered what you think that means for you personally. You seem to be invested in this, right? It doesn't feel like market analysis. It feels like you're arguing something personal. Like, why? God of War Ragnarok state of play rumored for next week. Please, we need it. Today's been great. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the huge turnout. I noticed last night a bunch of our old VODs got comments all of a sudden. I was like, maybe YouTube's fixing stuff. Elden Ring is seeing sales decrease for the first time, says Eugene. Just observing the trend. Yeah, but what trend? You stated things that are false. So are you observing a trend or saying things because you have an... I'm not saying you have an agenda, but it always feels like someone has an agenda when they're misrepresenting things. Like you haven't represented the actual reality of sales. You said that it's decreasing in sales when it just had a bump in sales. You said Forbidden West. You said Elden Ring's doing just fine. Elden Ring is seeing a decrease in sales. All of this is normal, by the way. Lono's like, I need blanking news. Well, to be fair, we had some absolute bangers this week. We had great thumbnails and topics, but it doesn't matter if the site's broken. We've had a pretty good go during the drought, if I do say so myself. I looked back and I was like, we're doing good work here. There's not much going on, and we're still putting on a good show and having good topics. Dadgummit. We're still doing great work. Skyrim is still selling after all these years. Confirmed. Horizon Forbidden West and Elden Ring are trash games. I'm 200 hours into Elden Ring, and I haven't thought about Horizon yet. It'll be bought as soon as I'm burned out on Elden, but 200 hours and I'm still going heavy. Oh, man, it's a dense game. Elden Ring is a super dense game. Did you cover the Star Wars The Old Republic update? I remember you talking about it back in December. No, I didn't line up. We didn't get a chance to do it. I heard the game was done. All signs point to God of War Ragnarok being complete. It is done. It's a made game. Now, we're polling you guys, the audience. We want to know what you think. The top here, it says... God of War Ragnarok release date. When's it happening? It's split right down the middle, almost 500 votes, 2022 or 2023. This headline is such glamorous example of clickbait. You are better than this. Came to the podcast app to leave feedback. This is literally the most accurate title and thumb to cover this. Maybe research it before talking. Like, literally the title of the stream from the other day is Xbox Game Pass placing ads in games. Like, that's quite literally what the subject is. That's what the report is. That's what the potential is. That's what might happen. That is the news. Like, go research it before you come and lecture me. Or just, find somebody else to listen to if you're that disappointed. Meanwhile, I'm killing myself in Horizon Forbidden West trying to harvest Fireclaw sack webbing. That crap is fragile, says Zubair. Ooh, that was a good one. I put it this way, says Cory. Miles Morales is still selling in the top 10 for PlayStation, and it's a PS5 launch game from over a year ago. It's been in the top 10 every month since its release. Yeah, that's a feather in Sony's cap, but we gotta be honest about something. Spider-Man is a bit of a cheat code, Spider-Man's a bit of a cheat code. I want to give Sony credit where credit is due, but you got to understand one of the reasons that Miles sells so well is, it's Spider-Man, dude. I mean, it's the most iconic superhero, the most popular hero globally. So it's a little unfair advantage. I'm not saying that the game's not amazing and worthy of praise and the sales are awesome, but we have to acknowledge it does have a bit of an advantage globally. I think the Miles game should have been skipped, and we should have already gotten Spider-Man 2. I think the sales are chuckling at what you just said. All the sales, all the money, they're like, get a load of what this guy said. They're just like bathing in money. He thinks we should have skipped this game and just did Spider-Man 2. What a riot. And they're like Scrooge McDucking through their money. Come on, bro. Speaking of ads, you hear Netflix is contemplating putting ads into their streaming service for lower tier subscribers. You know what's amazing to me about the Netflix situation, and I see all the outcry? I see everything that Creature and Eugene have been talking about with Game Pass and the culture that you will cultivate. You give people tons of stuff for virtually no money, and you will turn them into monsters. These people are insane. If I see one ad, I am canceling my subscription. Really? Go to Hulu. Go to Hulu. There's 2 tiers of membership there. There's one that has ads. There's one that doesn't. It's like, what the frick are you talking about? You think you just get all this media shoveled down your gullet for $10 a month? Are you freaking kidding me? It is an obscene amount of entertainment for virtually no money. But Netflix has done the same thing that the cell phone companies did and the same thing that Game Pass is going to do. You're going to foster this entitled community that thinks nothing should cost money, nothing should have advertisements. I should spend a penny and get a mansion. Like, Jiminy Christmas. I read the tweets and I was like, that's it. That's Game Pass's future. Right the frick there. You try to budge the price, you try to put ads in games, you try to recoup cost, you try to actually make it like revenue generating, marginally solvent, and you are going to get hate from your community. You better buckle up, Microsoft. You better take notes from what Netflix is going through, because that's your frickin' future. An entitled, non-spending community. That's what you're doing. Enjoy it, and Sony will be laughing all the way to the bank with their virtuous cycle. Seriously. What do you mean it doesn't cost money? You pay for Netflix, right? You pay for Netflix, you pay for Game Pass, right? Sure, and you get a monsoon of value. And if any of that budges, then people are angry. They're creating bad consumers. They are creating bad consumers. You're creating consumers that expect to spend little and get the world. And when you do that, I don't think it doesn't work long term. From the respect of inflation, from the respect of any time you want to recoup costs, if anything moves, if any line items shift or move and you got to make more money somehow, everybody's going to lose their dadgum minds. I love Game Pass and I spend a lot of money. Fine. If I'm 100% wrong and the people that are saying this are 100% wrong, then great, good. But Netflix is a great example right now of what happens the minute you try to shift anything. People will lose their dadgum minds and they will cancel their subscriptions. All I need is Reforge Gaming and Disney Plus for the kiddos. Yeah, I mean, it's only $5 a month to be a member here. That's pretty cheap, and I can't change those rates. I'm not allowed. Watch their outcry when Starfield isn't day and date on Game Pass? What do you mean it's going to be day and date on Game Pass? They already said that. You think they're going to walk that back? They're not walking that back, brother. It's day and date. They already said it's day and date. People that spend are not what we're talking about. Sony's getting left behind this generation. Willie, I want to put that on a t-shirt so I can wear it in 5 years and be like, how say what now? What happened? the demand trajectory for the PlayStation is 5 is that's just going to stop? I don't understand why y'all think this. Y'all are still thinking in the old, you're still thinking in the old school. Like Creature says, you're stuck in the woods thinking the war's still going on. That's not a fight. It's not a fight anymore. It isn't. It's because those price points, they pull in much more customers, make the price too high, and people have the cost-benefit analysis if your service is even worth it. Oh, for sure distorted. Like, the same thing happened at cell phone companies. I worked at AT&T for 5 years, and buddy, there were so many people that came back in and they're like, well, all this was free the last time I was here. Yeah, because they were driving value to get you in the funnel. Now that you're in the funnel, shut the frick up and pay. That was the posture. That was the posture. Now that you're in the funnel, shut up and pay. You don't get a free car charger in a case. Shut up. That's exactly what Netflix is going through. That's what Game Pass is going to go through. You're just going to keep pouring on the value. You got to maintain that just breadth of stuff that they get. Why do you think they're looking... Listen, and Sony's looking at putting ads in games too, not because... Not for the same reasons. They want to put money, they want to put ads in games because they want money. Like, that's pretty basic. I'm not going to act like Microsoft is the only company wanting to put ads in games. But Microsoft wanting to put ads in games is 100% related to the Game Pass economy. Why do you think Netflix... So you think it's a total coincidence that Netflix is looking at putting ads in their service because they're offering an absolute cornucopia of entertainment for pennies, for literal peanuts, and Game Pass is almost identical in structure. How many times, and you Microsoft guys, you love me when I say this, Microsoft's thinking big, Microsoft's thinking long term, Microsoft is a sleeping giant, Microsoft wants to become the Netflix of gaming. Every time I've said that, you Microsoft guys clap. You're like, yeah, that's exactly right. Their strategy is good. They're gonna build a giant ecosystem. They're gonna blur the line between console and PC. They're gonna create something that's, surpasses and transcends what we think of gaming and what we think of consoles. Yes, xCloud, play anywhere, play with anyone. That's exactly right. Netflix of gaming. Look at what is happening to Netflix right now. It's a cautionary tale for Microsoft and Game Pass because you cannot sustain that model. I don't think you can. I think you eventually run out because AAA titles are going to run. Big movies are charging Netflix more. Look at the stuff that they're losing. Look at everything that Netflix lost. They lost The Office. They just lost Star Trek The Next Generation. Why? Because the companies that own the rights to those suddenly realized, we could make a lot of money on our property. NBC saw it with The Office, and Paramount saw it with Star Trek The Next Generation. So, what do you think game companies are going to start to realize? We should charge a whole lot more if we're going to show up on Game Pass. And then your value starts to diminish. And what do? You do the same thing Netflix is looking at doing, the same thing Microsoft is looking at doing, the same thing Sony's looking at doing. You start funneling ads into your games. And that's a delicate balance. The first time I see an ad, I'm canceling my Netflix. I can buy the games, and yes, Game Pass is the greatest value in gaming. It is the greatest value in gaming. And for the longest time, Netflix was the greatest value in subscription video services. Look how delicate that market was. You think Netflix is doing all right with Paramount Plus and Disney Plus and Amazon Prime Originals? You think in Hulu, you think all these other video services entered the landscape and didn't disrupt the ecosystem and the economic value and the value transmission of Netflix? You thought you were just completely immune? You think Microsoft's completely immune? No, that's why they're looking at adding ads. JW with 15 months. Sorry for being off topic, but I finally beat Margit the Fell. So glad I tried Elden Ring. Yo, congrats on beating Margit. You the man. And thanks for keeping your membership here. Guys, could we get a couple more memberships? We're going to be doing a members-only stream this afternoon where you can ask me more spicy, more off-topic things that you want to have me cover in the gaming or streaming world. There's streamer drama out there. I don't like covering it here, but I'll talk to the members about it. Hit that join button if you haven't already. $5 a month. Get you access to that. Don't forget, if you're a paying member or considering becoming one, tomorrow night is community game night. April the 22nd, we'll be playing Fortnite no-build squads, so get Fortnite updated and installed. Even if you don't like Fortnite, we're going to have fun with it, It's free and totally crossplay. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear any pushback. 6 months of membership from Mitch, my man Mitch, one of the double dippers, only because you said so. I appreciate that. We only need 67 more followers now over on the other platform that we're pushing. You can use the command in chat if you'd like. Well, to be honest, one of the biggest problems with Netflix isn't a Netflix thing. It's a stupid fantasy of infinite growth and stock market BS. Facts. And do you see that applying to the Game Pass discussion, Derek? I think it applies. I think it applies. Infinite growth, infinite value increase. Yeah, just all. I'm not against advertising in general, says Distorted, but I'm completely against commercials and anything that interrupts the use or enjoyment of the product. Listen, I am not saying that Game Pass and Microsoft is bad or not good for you or whatever the frick. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they should look at what's happening to Netflix right now and take note. That's the consumer base you're building. Right? JW with a $10 tip. Have a beer on me. Did you beat Elden Ring yet? I only tried it because of your gameplay. Yes, I beat it. I did not enjoy New Game Plus that much. It was too easy. We will be starting a strength build tomorrow. Sword and Shield. I'm going to play the entire game with no summons. Every friggin' boss, no summons. You will likely find me playing it on From Fridays and Mondays. And then the rest of the week, we're going to be doing other things, but we want to make sure we give at least 2 times a week to that series. Thank this guy for having a brain, says Creature. Corey says, Game Pass is for the financially... This is kind of rude, but I'm going to read it. Game Pass is for the financially illiterate. It does exactly what credit cards do, and you won't see how bad it is until you realize that you don't own any of the games that you've been paying for. Okay, I actually don't agree with that take. Yeah, I actually don't agree with that take. Because Game Pass is virtually identical to Disney Plus, Hulu, and Netflix. And would we say that people that subscribe to those things are financially illiterate? And because you don't own any of this stuff on Disney Plus, you don't own any of this stuff on Netflix, you don't own any of the stuff on Hulu. I don't think that's a fair take. I think it's totally fine to have subscription services that give you a ridiculous amount of value. There is absolutely nothing wrong with seeing the value in Game Pass and taking full advantage of it. That's being a good consumer. However, the Netflix story is a cautionary tale because you can make and you can create emergent, whatever Zubair calls it. An emergent property of this is that you end up with really bad consumers that don't understand how expensive all of this is. All they know is you were giving me 1,800 games for $10. Or I'm making up a figure, right? I think something that will emerge from all these different things happening, you being a good consumer, Microsoft trying to fill their funnel, they want everybody on the Microsoft ecosystem. I think the pattern is measurable in other industries. I think it's measurable in other industries. It happened in the cell phone industry. It's happening right now to Netflix. When you fill your funnel with low-cost entry and overwhelming value, there is a point where that trajectory starts to descend because they're like, I'm not getting what I used to get. You keep raising your prices, and now you're talking about putting advertisements in. Do you think that Game Pass is going to stay the same price forever? Do you think that they're going to be able to maintain the amount of new, big, huge title games in the Game Pass funnel? Do you think that they're going to not put ads in all those games once they realize they can get away with it? And when that happens, what's going on with Netflix will be very, very similar. Nothing that I'm saying means you shouldn't be on Game Pass or Microsoft Game Pass is bad or Microsoft is bad. I am simply saying this is happening every time it's applied. Because you cannot keep giving things away. You eventually have to start charging for stuff. I'm in the iPhone upgrade program, says Zubair. I essentially lease the phone. I'm good with that because I want the newest. Not stupid, just a different way of measuring value, says Zubair. Game Pass is going to go tiers at some point. It's inevitable. Yep. You want the ad-free tier? That's what Hulu does. That's what Hulu does. Netflix will do the same thing. Do you want the ad-free tier? 100%. No doubt in my mind. They'll start having tiers. No way. It's the only way. It's the only way. It's the only way a value offer like that maintains itself. Lono, you can't outright buy any of the original shows that are on Netflix, Disney Plus, or any service. Financing affordable things you can purchase outright is financially irresponsible. Hang on. Okay, hang on. I'm trying to grapple with your logic so I can pick it apart. Financing affordable things that you can purchase outright is financially irresponsible. I feel as if you're stating something that is true. Well, yeah, financing affordable things that you can purchase outright is financially irresponsible, okay? I feel like you're stating something that's true, but you're misapplying it. You're misapplying it. They're not financing affordable things. That's not the correct category. That's not what they're doing. It's a subscription. It's almost like subscribing to it's like subscribing to Spotify. You can buy all those albums, but you wouldn't describe that as financing something that's affordable and readily purchasable. You wouldn't say that. What do you mean? Like when I have a subscription to Spotify, that's not what I'm doing. It's a subscription. That doesn't make any sense. Oh man, an analogy just hit me like a lightning bolt. Is renting a movie is renting a movie the same? Is going to the movie theater the same? You're not owning it. It's something you can purchase at a given time. You can buy the DVD and own the movie. Is renting a movie or going to the theater in the same category? You're giving them money for a temporary experience of something that can be purchased. How is that not the same? Do you apply this in these other fields? Are you like on some super rigid finance plan? There are people like this. There's no harm in this. People that are super no borrow. What did Wabi say? It's like a gym membership. Yeah, you could buy a treadmill. You could buy an exercise bike like I have. I paid to ride the roller coaster. I should have bought the thing. Well, I think he would say that's not something that you can purchase. His logic wasn't unsound. It's misapplied. You should never finance anything that you can pay for outright. You are claiming that a subscription is financing. That's the problem. You are making a categorical conflation. That's not what a subscription is. It's not financing. No. That is an absolute categorical conflation. Game Pass is a ticket to a theme park, and the games are the different rides. Yeah, it's not. You're not financing anything. You're not financing when you rent a movie. You're like, you're being a good consumer. That, like, renting a movie, I'm probably going to only want to watch this one once. Like, you just know. You're like, this one's pretty throwaway. Yeah, here's $5. It's $20 to purchase it. I save $15. I saved $15 by not purchasing it. Why? Because I'm going to watch it once. It's irresponsible to buy something for the full price that you're going to interact with one time. So I think there's a logic to what you're saying. Financing something when you could purchase it outright is irresponsible because you're just basically, and here's the undercurrent of what you're saying that's missing from this equation. Financing typically and traditionally means you're paying interest. So it's like, hey, You could buy this TV or finance it, and you finance it, and it's irresponsible because you end up spending more money because you end up paying the interest. You miss a payment or something, and you lose that 0% interest that they promised you with all the big flashing lights. Okay? So baked into your statement is I think a presumption about what financing even is. Financing is when you do something with credit and then therefore end up paying interest, and that interest in your mind is irresponsible because you had the money to buy it outright. Game Pass isn't financing. Movie releases in theaters before they release for purchase. Boy, you are either really far behind or dodging all the other points made. Because there are so many other points I'm making. How is it irresponsible if it's 0%? But it's not even financing. You're not borrowing money. You're using your money to get more entertainment for less. That's like literally being a good consumer. I've never once argued that Game Pass is you being a bad consumer. I've said it leads to bad consumers. A subscription service model is financing access to the content of the service. It's not financing. You're misappropriating that term. It's not financing. In the realm that you're using it. In the realm that you're using it, that's not what it means. You're using it in the realm of responsibility, which means you're using it in the realm of financing being something that's like borrowed. You're literally paying for access. You are misappropriating that term. That is not what these subscription services are at all. Not even close. Financing implies ownership will change hands at some point in the process. The guy saying 0% was saying that's a good thing. Yeah, if you can maintain your payments on something and you keep the 0% the entire time, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Welcome, I'm your partner operations manager. You'll be working through our exclusive invitation-only 6-month support system. You'll have access to email-based help. Great. What we do not. Okay. I'll have to read this later. YouTube partner operations. That's good news. I thought he was saying it was irresponsible to pay the third party instead of the source. I think that's a better argument. I think it's still hard to make, but I actually think that's a better argument. Like when the guy from Days Gone said, if you like the game, buy the effing game. He was like, if you like the game, pay the people that made the dadgum thing. Jacob says, it's dumb that some people say that people with Xbox Game Pass are poor or that Xbox fans are poor because we don't pay $70 for games. I buy Game Pass games because I love the games on Game Pass. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I don't want to presume someone's financial status because they're being frugal. That's stupid. If you see a mother clipping coupons, or you see somebody using coupons at the store, or somebody being frugal and taking advantage of sales, or in this case, doing a subscription service and getting a ton of games for a low amount of money, let's say you barely can make ends meet, and that's why you do Game Pass, because it enables you to give your kids lots of games, okay? Let's say you're extremely wealthy, and one of the reasons you're extremely wealthy is you've always been incredibly frugal. You've been what we would call the penny pincher. Like, both people are doing the same thing. The really rich guy and the person who is check to check can do the exact same thing within the realm of making a financial decision because they see the value in it. It's not purely determined by your financial status. I don't think anybody's saying that. Anybody saying that's an idiot. You're just a frickin' moron if you think that people are doing Game Pass because they're poor. Okay. It's a funnel of 20 million poor people. What funnel of dumb people are you from? That's not true. Financing does not have to have an interest component. Financing this in this context means that you continuously pay for borrowed content. For the record, I work in finance. Yeah, and I would say that you working in finance, I think you got to take your finance glasses off. I think you're looking at this in a way that doesn't apply. Disney Plus then is irresponsible, or would you say it's totally fine because there are shows that you can only access through the subscription? Let's apply what you're saying then. Disney's predatory, right? They're getting people to do something that's financially irresponsible. They're subscribing to a service with movies in there that they can purchase, and they're doing it by holding content captive behind the subscription wall, right? Like, I don't think your logic and argument holds weight in the realm of you get so much for so little. They're being a good. Let me take this another way. Let's go back to the analogy that I use when you rent a movie. You know you're watching this movie one time. I rented Venom 2 the other night. Why? I know, brother, I'm watching this one time. There's almost no way I'm going to ever feel the need to rewatch Venom 2. I'm about 95% sure a rewatch of this movie will not happen in my lifetime. Okay? So instead of spending 20 or 25, I spent 5. I saved $15 to $20, right? That makes perfectly good sense. If you do Game Pass and you play a handful of games in a month and you never play them again, you have won. You've won. Why? Because you saved money on games that you do not need to own. I'll say it another way. It's financially irresponsible to buy something that you don't continuously play and has no inherent trade value. You can't do anything with it. It just sits on a digital shelf. It just sits there. You're an idiot. You spent $60 to $70 on that game, played it for 2 hours, and now it sits there, retaining zero value. You can do nothing with it. A subscription? You're being a great consumer. You're being a really good consumer. Now, if you really, really like the game, you know what's beautiful about this, Cory? All the money they saved, if they really, really like a game and it comes off Game Pass, or they just really feel like it's time to buy the game and really support the developers, they can do that. They can do that. They're like, I saved all this money. I played 100 games this year, and I didn't buy one of them. And these 2 or 3 standouts, I'm going to buy them. And it's easy for me to do that because I saved a ton of money. All the money I would have spent on those games to try or to see if I liked them, I put them in a little account here. 60 here, 60 here, 60 here. And all those 60s add up. I got plenty of money now. I can buy 2 or 3 of these games that I really like. They're no longer on Game Pass. I think the scary part is this guy's in finance. I feel bad for his clients. Well, no, I wouldn't say I feel bad for his clients. He sounds like he's a very careful and meticulous planning person in finance. That's what you should do in finance. You're also paying indefinitely for the content? No, you're not. You can end the subscription anytime. What do you mean? What you talking about? You could think of it this way. Again, just being a smart consumer. You could do Game Pass for 3 months. You know there's like a big bunch of games coming out. You do Game Pass for 3 months. You try a bunch of games, and you're like, okay, I like this one, and this one. And then you cancel Game Pass, and you buy those 3. That is being a frugal, smart consumer. You saved a ton of money. You don't have to keep paying indefinitely. It's not compulsory. You're just doing it when you see the value, and you can stop at any time you want. If you buy it physical, you could sell the game for a reduced price. So applying your logic then, and the logic I just outlined, it's irresponsible to buy anything digital because it has no inherent trade value, and if you don't like the game, you're stuck with it, and it sits on the shelf. This is console only, by the way. You can return games on Steam as long as you play them under 2 hours. Probably the best treatment of the consumer with respect to digital goods that exists. I know Steam can be kind of scummy in other categories, and the way they treat their developers and the way they treat the pricing and the non-compete clauses and all that crap that they do, sure, whatever. But they definitely treat the consumer exceptionally well. Play the game for 2 hours, you didn't like it, get your money back. You played for 3 hours, 4 hours, no, you ain't getting your money back. You kept playing, and you can't get your money back. There's too many indie titles that you can beat in under 2 hours. They need to look at that too. Like, the devs should be able to submit average completion times and say, listen, average completion time for this game is 2.5 hours. So if somebody plays the game for 1 hour and 45 minutes, they've played too great a portion of the game. That's not fair for them to be able to return it. By the way, if you're just tuning in, we're discussing God of War Ragnarok update. We got on the subject of Game Pass because obviously when we talk about PlayStation games, the Game Pass and Xbox comes up because Sony's looking at doing very similar things. We have a poll at the top of the chat. God of War Ragnarok release date. Is it happening this year or next year? Thank you for the strong turnout today. Do me a favor, if you're enjoying the show, click the like button. Consider hitting subscribe. It's free to subscribe, and then you can talk in my chat. If you're a longtime subscriber or a recent subscriber and you haven't been seeing my streams, I've been streaming. YouTube's been jacking up, so do me a favor. Always make sure and check your subscription feed and my channel if you like listening to this show every day. Also, check out the mouse command. We got a really great, cool mouse from ROCCAT. It's got 15 customizable buttons, lots of LED lights, and you can use the mouse command. Make sure and use my code if you order one. There was a whole refund speedrun community. Oh, I bet. Game Pass value depends upon how many games you can play, TBH. No, Game Pass value depends on the consumer's perception and reception of said value. It is subjective. If you like Game Pass because you want to play one full game a month, and that's good for you, that's great. It's a deal. When you end your subscription, you lose access to the content that you paid for. Also, if you buy it after you paid for the subscription, then you pay for the sale price plus the subscription fee. Right, you are completely jumping over all the value points that I talked about because they're inconvenient for your premise and your conclusion. I can spend less money than the price of all of the games on Game Pass. Ergo, I am saving money when I play all of those games. As soon as I play one full-priced game and don't pay for it, I have saved money. If I go to the next game and I play it and I liked it, I have still saved money. If I end the subscription or keep the subscription and buy that game at full price, I have still saved money, making your position defunct. I have saved money. I'm getting access to all these games to see which ones I like, and then if I need to buy them at full price or I end the subscription, I have money that I have saved that I can spend. Imagine going to a restaurant and they say, if you do this subscription at our restaurant, every time you come, we will bring out a sample platter, allowing you to sample 10 different entrees, and then you can order the one that you want. All of the money that you save not ordering those 10 entrees to figure out which one you want, you could take all that money and put it in an envelope. Each entree costs $10, and it saves you $100. How much does a subscription cost? Well, it costs $15. So take $15 out of the envelope. You got $85 left over, and that $85 can be spent on roughly 8 entrees. You keep coming back and can keep trying those entrees. So you keep coming back and keep getting value, and you keep getting to test it. The money in the envelope is the net save, and then you use that to spend on the things that you want. You literally subscribe, get access to probably, I don't know, thousands of dollars worth of games. Maybe not. Let's just say it's $500 worth of games every month that you can play and try out. That's $500 that you saved. And then you can use it more volitionally and more intentionally on the games that you would like to own. It's not real estate or a car. It's not a tangible good, says Zubair. Saving money is the whole allure of the service, Lono, not the games that it offers. The ability to save money and be able to play games they put there. So the higher you raise the sub price, the less appealing the service is. By the way, don't forget to subscribe, says Oscar. Yeah, don't forget to become a paying member here. If the PlayStation had something like Game Pass, then I would consider buying a PlayStation. Who am I kidding? I can't stand the PS ecosystem. I think the PlayStation operating system, I think, is what you mean. I think the PlayStation operating system has gotten significantly better. The average person does not play all the games in Game Pass. The average person plays a game to see if they like it. If they like it, then they continue to play the game. Okay. So let's say, how many people on average do you think play a game and go back to it over and over and over and over and over again? How often? What we know about humanity, what we know about the general populace, and what we know about the general trends of attention spans, how often do you think people are going back and playing a game over and over and over again? Not very many, right? So it's safe to say, I think it's a safe assumption to make, I think it's reasonable for me to assume that when someone does that and they complete the entire game, they never really feel the desire to go back to it. What can we conclude about the transaction? They spent $15 to get access to a $60 game. They squeezed all of the value out of it, and then they put it away, and they never really care to play it again. Guess what that means? It means they saved $45. In your world, that's irresponsible because they don't get to keep the game forever, that, according to statistics, they will unlikely to ever go back to it. Like renting the movie that I know I'm only going to watch one time, they are quite literally saving money. They get to play the entire game, beginning, middle, and end, and they never go back to it. I got to watch Venom 2, beginning, middle, and end. I have no desire to ever go back and watch that movie. I saved money! This is a fun debate, by the way, because your stubbornness keeps it going. And so does mine. While you are playing that game, you are not playing the other games in the service. You are being blinded by the quantity of games and not really seeing the practical application of Game Pass. Oh my gosh. That's not even a well-made point. That point is so poorly made. I actually struggled to know how to break it down. It's such a bad point that I'm struggling to break it down logically. While you are playing the game, you're not playing the other games in the service. You're being blinded by the quantity of games and not really seeing the practical application of Game Pass. What? Gamer Play says, from my perspective, I used to rent games constantly. Game Pass to a consumer like me is insane value because I could rent 3 games in a month for the same cost as Game Pass. Wait, it gets worse. I bought DLC for a Game Pass game and I don't even own it. I own the DLC for a game I don't own. The horror. What's Distorted saying? You also have to consider this viewpoint, Lono. Most of the games I play on Game Pass, I would never buy and play otherwise. So Xbox is actually making more money on me through the sub than me not buying the game. That's exactly right. There are so many games that you would go at, you'd look at it, you'd look at the trailer and be like, dude, I'm never gonna, I'm not buying that game. No. It's not a matter of playing the game over and over again. It's the length of time they play. Let's say you got Back 4 Blood from Game Pass. You and your friends play it for 3 months. Yeah. So that's $45 for and that's just the one game. Who knows? I mean, I guess if you're playing it exclusively, but that entire time you could have played any of the other games on Game Pass. I guess I shouldn't sleep while I have a sub. Yeah, you're not getting, like, the assumption that you only maximize the value by playing every single game on Game Pass is an unreasonable assumption. That's not an assumption. That's not an assumption of the value transmission of the object. You're assuming something should take place that it's not even promoting and the average consumer wouldn't do. So the assumption that the value diminishes if you don't play every single game on Game Pass, I think is just a bad faith assumption. It's like, who the frick is doing that? I'm struggling to make solid points with the character limit. I understand. I have a huge advantage. I talk really, really fast, and you can type 250 characters or 200 characters on a mobile. I have a distinct advantage. I understand. I do my best to represent what you're saying as best as I possibly can, but the idea, if that entire time that you played, Back for Blood, and then it leaves Game Pass, okay, and then you have to buy the game if you want to keep playing. Well, now you spent $45 on Game Pass, and you had to spend $60 to buy the game. That's $115. Now, you might say, see, you have now thrown away $45. That's irresponsible. You financed access to the game, and you're out that $45. Incorrect. Incorrect. And here's why. The $45 is not for access to Back 4 Blood. It's for access to any game on Game Pass. So that entire 3-month period, you could have also been playing other games and trying them out and getting value from Game Pass, ergo saving money that entire time. Within that 3-month period, any other game you play and test out, you saved money in that transaction. You didn't have to buy those games. An indie title here, a major title there, an indie title over here. That's money saved every single time if you're like, yeah, I didn't like that game. I'm glad that I didn't pay for it. And you have to set up the most stringent hypothetical for it to be irresponsible. If there's some dum-dum paying for Game Pass, and he literally only plays one game for 6 months through Game Pass, and then it falls off of Game Pass, and he has to buy it, yes, he has not taken advantage of the value he paid for. That's just a stupid person. That doesn't mean that it's financially irresponsible to do Game Pass. That guy's just a dum-dum. Like, if you sign up for Game Pass and you're like, I'm going to play Back for Blood for 6 months and nothing else, and then it comes off Game Pass and now you have to spend an additional $60, yeah, I'd say you're dumb. If you're only paying for Game Pass to have access to one game, buy the one game and cancel Game Pass. What the frick are you doing? But if that entire time he's playing Back for Blood, he's also sampling all of the other games and therefore saving all of that money, he's ahead in the equation. Value is the personal experience. It's not inherent to the thing that you do. Right, and that's why we're saying you made the statement. It was financially illiterate to do this because you're financing access to something that you can pay for. I've done my absolute best to show you it can actually be incredibly financially and frugally driven to use a subscription service like this to save money so that when you do buy something that you want eternal access to, you've saved money to do that. As opposed to spending 60, 60, 60, 60, 20, 30, 35, 40. You're spending all these random full-priced, ticket prices on all these games to try all of them out. Hilly with a 5 spot. This explains the experience in Halo Infinite. They don't want you to play the 99 games. Now it makes sense. Zubair says it gets worse. If I pay for Game Pass and I play one game all year and I enjoy myself, I'd be fine because I'm paying for monthly access to fun and I had fun. I'm very fiscally responsible. Yeah, I would say so. Now, somebody might say, well, you spent $15 a month over the course of the entire year, and therefore you spent $180 for access to one game when you could have bought the game once for $60 and saved $120. From the financial perspective, Zubair, I think they'd be right. They'd be like, that's kind of stupid, man. Why do you buy Game Pass? Oh, it gives me access to Back for Blood. Oh, okay. What? Do you play any other game on Game Pass? No, I have zero desire to play a single other game. It doesn't matter. This is the only game I want to play. Why wouldn't you just buy the game? Oh, it's easier for me to afford the $15 a month. Well, okay. Could you wait 4 months and buy it at full price? After the 4th month, you're throwing money away. You're spending more than the ticket price to continue to access the game. Yes, in that example, you could say that person's financing something they could buy at full price and kind of throwing money away. But that's such an odd example. Like, who the frick is doing that? Who is literally that dumb? Oh, yeah, I could buy the game at full price, but I'd rather do Game Pass. Do you play any other games? No. Do you want to play any other games? No. Are you interested in any other games? No. I only play this game. Who is this? Who is that dumb? We're paying for the opportunity, says Distorted. There might be one game we want to play all year, but they may put 10 more. Right, and that's fair, Distorted. I'm making up an example of somebody who is so rigidly stupid about it. Like, they literally pay for Game Pass so they can get access to that game, and they do not care about any other game. Like, that's just silly. That's not, no one's going to do that. My friends do that? They sound dumb. They sound dumb. Why would you do that? A lot of people probably do that. I have severe doubts that the 20 million in the Game Pass funnel are not getting, after an entire year, 180. I promise you, the majority of Game Pass subscribers get their value out of the 180. That's 3 games worth. I promise you they're playing more than 3 games in a year in Game Pass. Not all, but the majority. I would put money on the table. I would bet money and say, if you looked at the behavior of the 20 million some odd Game Pass users, they install, play, and sample more than 3 games a year. Therefore, they are saving money. Therefore, it's not financially irresponsible. You're conflating value and financial responsibility. You're alleging that a person would want every game in Game Pass. Nope, never alleged that. There are hundreds of games that people don't play in Game Pass. I've never conflated value and financial responsibility. I've taken your financial responsibility premise, I have beaten it to a bloody pulp, and you've not interacted with any of my points. Every single time, 180 is for 3 years? What? How much is 1 year of Game Pass? How much is 1 year? Every single point I've made about saving money, you've ignored it. Your financial responsibility point is bloodied and on the canvas. It's knocked the blank out. It's not standing anymore. You haven't defended the financial responsibility premise at all. You've restated it a number of ways. But no, it hasn't stood. It hasn't stood the test. I brought up value simply because we're talking about people seeing the value in it. I'm not saying that has anything to do with financial responsibility. When you brought up financial responsibility, I, in 4 different ways, showed how the average consumer saves money every month and then has that money to spend on games that they want. That's more fiscally responsible. They're getting access to more content for less money. That money that they save can then therefore be used on direct intentional purchases if they want. That refutes your financial irresponsibility argument. It's done. You've got to deal with that. You have to deal with the saving money premise and the saving money argumentation that I've put out multiple times. If you want to claim that your argument still stands. With respect, it's not. It's been dismantled. You got to put it back together again another way. Humpty Dumpty's on the ground. Eugene says, Cory, you're conflating consumer financial responsibility with being a good steward of an industry and supporting the people that make the products you like. I have no problem with saying that if you like the games and you want to see the games continue to flourish and you want to see the game developers continue to flourish, you need to support the games. I have no problem saying that at all. I think it's difficult to create an imperative on the consumer. It's not the consumer's job to be concerned with the financial well-being of the developers. However, if you've been educated on these systems and how they work and how they function, and you refuse to change, don't be surprised when it all comes crashing down and everyone's like, oh man, all these development companies closed because they couldn't get funding, or they couldn't get the support they needed, or this or that or the other. Well, yeah, no wonder, because you created a consumer base that didn't buy the dadgum games. I didn't do tags again. Dadgummit. Keep forgetting to type up my tags for the second stream. I'm pretty fast at it though. Oop, oop. Okay. Okay. I got my tags. How is it saving if you have to pay the subscription fee plus the sale price when you could just pay the sale price? You're asking a question that's just a bad faith question, homie. Like, you're ignoring the basics of what I said. If I pay $15 and I get to play 4 games that are $60 a piece, I have saved money. I now know which game I would like to buy. Okay? So, let's just do the very basic math here. So you have $240 that you could spend on each and every one of those games. $240 minus the $15 a month leaves me with $225. When I play those 4 games and decide I only like one of them, and I play it for a really, really long time, and then I'm done with it, and I've done it within a week's time, okay, I have now saved $225. I've saved it because I've gotten everything I could out of the game. I'm done with it. I'm complete. It's like renting a movie. It's like, I know I'm never going to rewatch Venom 2. I got my worth out of Venom 2. I saved $20 by renting Venom 2 for $5. You saved $225 by spending $15 and getting to play 4 games. This one hit you right. You played the whole dadgum game and you never go back to it. You saved $225, which is more than enough to pay for the rest of the year of Game Pass. That's financially sound. That's good. It's not irresponsible. There are so many presumptions and assumptions in your premise. The presumption that you should only buy a game that you can keep for forever. That's a faulty presumption. Like, why? Plenty of people play a game for a week to 2 weeks and never go back to it again. They're being intelligent by saying, rather than buy this at full price, I'm going to play it on Game Pass, and then I'll be done with it in 2 weeks, and I can move on to the next game. I'm being a more efficient and more frugal consumer. I'm spending less and getting more. How could that ever possibly be viewed as financially irresponsible? Distorted says, also, there are not that many games that release onto Game Pass. Most games have already passed their main sales window. Game Pass is giving them an opportunity to make more money and put their game on. There's this is not just some huge negative on the games industry. Well, I think it could have a negative effect on the game industry. Even if I spend $15 and play one game and decide I didn't like it, I still save $45. I didn't buy the game at full price. I played it for an hour and a half and just put it down. And for the rest of the month, I just don't play anything. I still save $45, which then I can take that $45 and stretch it out and get more out of it. That's 3 more months of the Game Pass. Boom, boom, boom. 3 more months to try out potentially 3 more games. That's 4 games in total. That's $225 saved. Well, no, hang on. That's 220. That's 240 minus the 60. That's $180 saved. Like, you're always ahead as long as you're playing games and getting your worth out of them. You're ahead. Example, Guardians of the Galaxy. You pay $15 to access it, plus everything else is in Game Pass. You decide that you like Guardians of the Galaxy, and you buy it for $30. Yeah, you keep having to make extremely stringent examples to support your premise. I believe that's called special pleading. Like, you're having to create a situation to establish your blanket statement. You could have just bought it for $30 without the $15. Right, yeah, see, perfect, yeah, you that's special pleading. You're having to create extremely special circumstances to support your broad statement that you're financing something you could buy outright, therefore you're financially illiterate and it's financially irresponsible to do Game Pass. You have to make the most ridiculous example. Again, some dum-dum who pays $15 and plays one game, and after playing that one game immediately buys it. You know what the average person did with Guardians of the Galaxy on Game Pass? They played it, they beat it, and that was great. And then they're on to the next thing. That's the end of it. They're on to playing something else. If they're going to be stupid with the purchase, it doesn't make the purchase stupid. If you sign up for Netflix and you watch one thing one time and then you go out and buy the DVD and then you never watch another thing on Netflix and you just keep the subscription going, you're an idiot. Netflix isn't doing anything wrong. Like, if you do something stupid, it doesn't make this, it's not an indictment of the service. Somebody using Game Pass like a moron doesn't mean that the service or using the service is financially irresponsible. You're assuming that the games of Game Pass are full price when you get it on Game Pass. Well, a lot of times you get a discount. Yeah. A lot of times you get it at a discount. So, me assuming the price of the game has nothing to do with the conversation. You literally for the last 30 minutes have completely ignored the fundamental aspect of my argument, in that you save money, and the money saved can be used more intentionally to buy what you would like to keep, and the odds of people wanting to keep every game that they play is low given the behavior of most gamers. You haven't even touched that. That's such a concise, exhaustive statement to show there is no way you can claim this is financially irresponsible. There's just simply no way. You have to create a dumb consumer to claim that. I didn't make that up. That's the reality of Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, look at you. You are slick, aren't you? I'm not saying you're making up the price of Guardians of the Galaxy. You have to make up a dumb consumer to support your argument. Some idiot who spends money on Game Pass and plays Guardians and then immediately buys it. And they've now wasted money. So they don't play another game on Game Pass. They don't try anything else out. They don't try to finish Guardians of the Galaxy before buying it. They just immediately buy it. You have to create the most brain-dead consumer to make it an indictment of the financial decision. Who the frick is doing that? Yeah, I got Game Pass. I tried out Guardians, and I immediately bought it for $30. Are you playing any other games on Game Pass? No. What? What about next month? What about next week? What about once you're done with Guardians of the Galaxy? Nope. I'm just going to keep paying for Game Pass indefinitely, and I bought Guardians for $30, and I'm never going to play another game. You have to create the dumbest consumer in existence to create this financial indictment of doing Game Pass. It doesn't even make any sense. Like, who's doing that? You think the average consumer buys Game Pass, plays a game, immediately buys it for whatever the price ticket is, and then they're done? That's it? That's the end of it? I can't say it any other way. I can't. We've belabored the point. We're not talking God of War Ragnarok. We're not. We've completely gone out into left field, which is fine. It's a good showing of what we do here. We have debates, we have disagreements, we have discourse, but we don't insult, and I keep it safe for work. So if you've enjoyed the banter, if you've enjoyed the fire, if you've enjoyed the passion, hit subscribe, hit the bell button, hit the like button. Consider doing a membership. We are doing a members-only stream, an extra stream today after the Outriders stream, and then we're doing community game night tomorrow night with Fortnite. We'll rotate games for community game night, and it is members only. So your point is that it's stupid to buy the games that you have access to on Game Pass. No, that's not my point. No, I never said that. I'm going to try one more time. It's not stupid to buy a game that you liked that you got to play on Game Pass. In fact, it's actually very intelligent and frugal. You spend $15 and you can try 4 or 5 games, and maybe you decide to buy the one that you really liked. Maybe you don't. Maybe you squeeze everything you can out of it and see no reason to ever buy it. I am saying that in your very specific, special pleading example, it's incredibly stupid to do Game Pass, play Guardians of the Galaxy, immediately buy it for $30. God knows why anybody's doing that, but in your example, they did. And then, for your argument to stay intact, they never do another thing. They never play another game. They just keep paying for Game Pass indefinitely, and they never get another ounce of value out of it. That is stupid. Buying a game that you enjoyed, that you got to sample on Game Pass, is not stupid. I've never indicated that once. Part of the centrality of my argument is that they get to save money. $15, and if they try just 2 titles and benefit from the knowledge that they learned of liked or didn't like, they saved money. Immediately they saved money. So that's the best thing I can say is for $180 a year? For $180 a year, that's the cost of 3 full price games. As soon as you play more than 3 full price games in a year, you are ahead. You have saved money. The minute you step foot into the 4th full price game of the year, you have saved money. You've saved. Because if you complete the games and then you never go back to them, it's like renting them. It's like you don't need to buy them. Like, I didn't need to buy Venom 2. I rented it, got everything I needed out of it, and I saved $20. Game Pass can be used on more than one console if you have multiple in the house. And what if this hypothetical consumer doesn't like Guardians of the Galaxy? If they bought it for $30, then they're out $30. If they try it on Game Pass, they're only out $15, and they can go try other games. Right, like, that's what I mean. You have to consider the entire scope of possibility. You're creating one very rigid possibility. The entire scope of the possibility is they might not like it. They might play the entire thing and be like, that was fun, and I have no desire to ever play it again. The majority of the possibilities are a net benefit to the consumer and their money. You have one example of somebody being an absolute dum-dum where it's like, that would be financially irresponsible. Therefore, your premise is not supported by what I think is a reasonable assumption that we can make about what the average consumer would do. The average consumer would say, I'm going to try a bunch of different games, and I'm going to complete the ones that I like. And I'm not just going to randomly go buy them at full price unless there's some sort of compulsory need to. Maybe I didn't finish it and it fell off Game Pass. Maybe I really, really liked it and I want to support the developers or whatever. But again, the reasonable assumptions that we can make about what the average consumer would do, the spectrum of possibility, there is virtually nobody that's going to do what you trotted out in your example. Ergo, it is not financially irresponsible to do Game Pass. The irony is it's probably easier to make the argument that it's financially responsible to do Game Pass because you get to try so much for so little and can make more informed purchases when you finally buy a full price game. Welcome back, Perfect Paradox. That's basically a new membership, I think, because, yeah, that's registering as a new membership, but you're renewing. Thank you so much for doing that. Enjoy your blue badge. This man conned Lono into praising Game Pass for an hour. I have always maintained that Game Pass is just an obscene amount of value. The central springboard for my argument in comparing them to Netflix is you better take a cautionary tale from Netflix, man. You offer that much value for that little amount of money, and you are creating Little Shop of Horrors consumers. Feed me, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Feed me, and they don't want to pay for anything. Because the expectation is, you're the Netflix of gaming. I don't understand. I've been paying $15 a month, and I've had access to just an obscene amount of games. Why all of a sudden are there ads in them? Why all of a sudden are you raising the price? Why all of a sudden do you have an ad-free subscription tier? I don't understand. Can we say it again, what problem Netflix is running into? Netflix is losing money. People are leaving the platform because they lost some pretty major pieces of content. They lost The Office. I guarantee you that led to subscription loss. They just lost Star Trek The Next Generation. I'm not saying that's as big, but that's going to cause subscription loss. And they're considering having ads for their lowest tiers of Netflix. And people are like, if I see one ad, I'm canceling my subscription. And it's like, you better watch out. You better not cry. Canceled subscriptions are coming. I'm telling you why. They will do it. They will get angry because you are disrupting what they felt like was a fair trade. I give you a teeny amount of money, and I get tons of stuff with zero ads and nothing else. Netflix can't keep content up, prices are increasing, and they can't solve the freeloader issue. Right. Ask your chat what they are playing from Game Pass this month. How about next month? The month that Elden Ring released, people paid for Game Pass and played Elden Ring all month long. Okay. So? At this point, Cory, with respect, you aren't being a good sparring partner because there's a difference between playing tennis with somebody and putting me in the batting cages. You're not playing tennis with me. I've argued at least 8 different ways about how it saves the consumer money to make more intentional purchases. You haven't tried to offer a counterpoint to that. You're just putting me in the batting cages. You just come up with some weird new curveball point that you want me to take a swing at. It doesn't feel like an actual debate anymore. In internet argumentation, my experience is there are some people who want to play a tennis match, and there are other people who want to put me in a batting cage, and they want to just keep firing random points at me to see if I can respond to them. That's not an argument. You're just trying to wear me down so that I'm like, yeah, I got to move on, I got to tap out, and then that's some semblance of a victory for you, right? I've addressed that time and time again, that if someone paid $15 a month all year long and sporadically only played one game, they are still saving money the minute they play the 4th full-priced game that year. Engage with that point, or we're not having a conversation. If you spend $180 a year and you play 4 or more full-price games, you have saved money. That's a mic drop. Until you engage with that, we aren't having a conversation. So yes, if there is somebody out there who spent $180 a year for Game Pass and they played 1 to 2 games and that was it, only 1 or 2 games, they've lost money because they basically spent more on the subscription than they got out of it. I guarantee you there is almost nobody that dumb. Nobody's spending $180 a year and playing 2 games and that's it. They're like, that's it, I'm out. Like, nobody's doing that. And if they do that, their stupid behavior doesn't indict the subscription service as being not financially responsible. I can't argue with you the way that you want. I'm trying to type to keep up with you talking about Game Pass. No, I put something very basic before you, and you haven't engaged with it. This is what you need to engage with in order for the debate to go forward. If not, you have tapped out. You have conceded defeat because you won't engage with the point. $180 a year. As soon as they step into the fourth full-price game that year, they have saved money. On average, how many people are doing Game Pass all year and playing 2 games or less? On average, how many do you think? I think it's unreasonable to think that people are subscribing to a play all these games subscription service and literally only playing 2 games the entire year. I don't think that's reasonable. I think it's an over-realized presumption to support your premise that it's financially irresponsible. Distorted says, in a situation like this, it's up to the devs to lower the cost to meet up with the standards, not expect the consumers to change their behavior. As a business, it's their job to conform to the customer. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Distorted. We the people, my man coming in, 4th new member of the day. We need 11 more members today to hit 15 because we need 11 more today and 10 tomorrow. 21 more new members, and Madam will join us for game night. I'll even get her to play Fortnite with you. Welcome, we the people. Enjoy the dope badge and emotes. You're dope and deserve dope stuff. Yet again, some people get it for the live gold. Game Pass is a plus. Yeah, you also have to consider some people do it because it bakes in Xbox Live Gold, so you're ignoring that other value point that they get, that other piece of the pie. Yeah, 500 members and she'll run Elden Ring. That's right. How many people pay for Spotify for a year and listen to only 3 albums? They probably shouldn't be on Spotify. Right. I have stated that you are assuming that the games you are getting in Game Pass is full price when you get them in Game Pass. Guardians was $30 when it went to Game Pass, not $60. Right, but you have to understand something. When Guardians came out, it was $60. So they are not just being frugal, they're being patient. They wait and they play it on Game Pass. So what you're presuming then is they waited for the game to get to 30, then they got Game Pass, then they played Guardians, then they immediately bought it for 30, ergo they wasted money and it's not financially responsible. There are so many conditional ifs in that. You are not at all dealing with the crux of my argument by creating one example of a game that hit Game Pass and it was 30 when it hit Game Pass. The only way your point with Guardians works is that somebody literally ignored Guardians for however many weeks or months it was, then they get Game Pass just to play Guardians, and after they get Game Pass just to play Guardians, they buy Guardians at full price right away, and then they've wasted money. You're literally creating a stupid consumer to make your point. I've got to be done and move on. I've got to be done and move on. You're not grappling with the basics of my argument, and that's uniquely frustrating and also futile and a waste of our time. So, we are going to be covering the Outriders live stream in just a moment. I'm going to take a quick break and use the restroom. If you haven't done so already, click the like button, click subscribe, take the poll at the top of the chat. Hey, use the mouse command. ROCCAT sent me an amazing mouse, and I'm going to test this thing out in Fortnite tomorrow. 15 customizable buttons and really, really cool RGB lights inside. You can see just constantly changing colors there. Use the mouse command. If you decide to order one, it's literally the most comfortable mouse I've ever put my hands on. I actually think it's more comfortable than my G502 from Logitech. So do me a favor, use the mouse command. If you order those, make sure you use my code. Listen, Cory, I appreciate the argumentation and the debates. I love debating people, but I've got to move on when I feel like I'm not having a good tennis match. All right. So I'll be right back. I'm going to hit some ads. Consider doing a membership. If we get 21 more members before tomorrow night. I'll have Madam join us for Fortnite game night, all right? So consider becoming a member. You can type !join in chat, click the join button, or there's a join link in the description below. Don't forget there's a members-only stream this afternoon. It's an extra stream. I am not taking away from the main subscribers on this channel. I'm doing extra streams. We are doing 17 streams a week. 14 of those are totally free, okay? So the Thursday Throwdowns is an extra stream. It's an opportunity for members to just maybe ask spicy questions or talk about maybe more controversial gaming or streaming drama topics that we don't cover on the main show. All right? So, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, and I'm going to hit some ads. Oh, yo, Donkey Sausage, 16-month renewal. Thank you so much for doing that. Let me make sure that we redirect here. Having Lono in the background while I play Genshin is Chef's Kiss. Yeah, I wish Genshin wasn't a gacha game. It would have been fun to get into, but I can't in good... I just can't get into those kind of games. Can't do it. You're all for watching ads that helps the channel. That does help the channel. We don't run a lot of ads on this channel, though. So we've that's why we're trying to do membership incentives. We're trying to do membership incentives because we primarily are supported by coffee purchases and members. Those are like the two best ways to support. So if you drink coffee every day, consider trying our coffee. If you've never had coffee with balanced acidity, you should try Rageless Roast. You can use the coffee command in chat. There's a link below in the description, or you can go to ragelessroast.com. And yeah, if you've never tried coffee with balanced acidity, you should give it a try. It's very smooth. It's very, very, very drinkable. It seems like something like Genshin would be perfect for you. You hit walls and stop progress, nothing to keep up with. That's accurate and rude at the same time. That was a fun rabbit hole. Is it safe to talk about my fiscally illiterate subscription to the Dollar Bill of the Month Club? It's only $20 a month. Oh my gosh. Yeah, his original statement was that it was financially irresponsible to pay for access over time. It's irresponsible to finance access to content you can afford to buy outright. And the premise completely disregards all of the other benefits and all of the other funds that are saved by doing it. It has to function in a vacuum. Like, for that premise to stand, it has to function in a vacuum, and that vacuum is like, again, it's just like a really dumb consumer, and I just think that's why it just doesn't feel like a very strong argument. It's just not very strong. Like, yes, if you have a really, really dumb consumer that does what he described, then sure. All right, let me get this Outriders stuff ready. Let me make sure and switch to my YouTube Premium account. Oh, we're already in. Are we already in results? Where's the Outriders channel, man? All these dadgum companies, man. Oh, it's a premiere. You can do a premiere with... You can do a trailer for a premiere? Okay. All right, let's go over and I'm going to do this. You ship copy to Europe? We do. Shipping outside the U.S. is a little expensive, but we do. You're probably best to do one bag so we can do the first class. The first class bag is like the cheapest. And we can do first class. Oh, we can do 2. Maybe 3. You could do 2 bags, and we can do it first class. We can't do 2 bags first class within the States because of the weight, but we can do that outside of the U.S. All right. That link in chat is what we're getting ready to do. Outriders I can't spell. World Slayer. What is it called? What did I call it? World Slayer's Reveal. World Slayer Reveal. Okay. Let me retweet that. So is it live service now? I don't know. I really don't know. It'd be great if it did go live service. Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. If you didn't catch us live, we are going to be co-streaming the Outriders World Slayer broadcast. We will be discussing it after and chopping it up, all of the info, all the reveals. We have covered Outriders news before on this channel. Anytime there's an Outriders update, we try to check it out and talk about it. Loot-based games are a blast. Just this morning, we talked about God of War Ragnarok update, where they said that the game is not ready yet to be shown, and we theorized what that meant and what that was going to mean for the release date of the title, and we theorized and debated. So if you missed that broadcast, make sure and go back. I'm going to bring everybody over from this morning's stream. If you haven't been seeing my streams lately in your feed, always